Hey, fellow Riblets, it's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. Hey, feral grandma, how you doing today? Uh, I figured I'd come on, say hello to everybody. I wasn't sure if this was going to work or not because yesterday I had a situation, um, which is why we had to switch over to the other StreamYard. So, yeah, so there's always that, you know. So everything is good for me today. I hope you guys got enough ability to see me and to come on here. Juliet, Sandy, how you guys doing? Hello. Hi, hi. So how are you guys doing? And did anybody see the interview I did with Aaron and how'd you think of it? Lewis and Lewis. How are we doing, Lewis? So I mean it looks like you guys were able to follow me along. I think Aaron said something about going on to the YouTube and she told you guys that we were over there. Hey Granny Boo. Granny Boo too. Yeah, that's pretty clever. That was pretty cool. I was very happy. Yes, she is. She's definitely a character. You don't get that very often, but when you do, you take advantage of it. You're wearing an orange shirt today. Does that mean that you work for the prison guard or something, or like orange is the new black? That sounds good, Sandy. I just finished a half of a London broil and with a whole stick of butter. And I'm actually enjoying. I actually found my hand blender, and it fits right in here perfectly. So I'm enjoying some black coffee from downstairs, and then I just came up and I put half a stick of butter in it, and I blended it. So it's pretty darn good. I'm glad I helped you relax there, Juliet. That makes me very happy. Um, I actually had to work last minute today. Um, something I'm getting a little worried about because I actually yeah, I think I saw that. Oh, that sounds really good, Lewis. Okay, it does. Um, something I'm a little concerned about is I can only work so many hours a week, and and it seems like they're desperate enough to call me like can you come in right now, type thing. Like, we only need you for a couple hours, and I have the hours this week. It's just I can't help but be a little concerned that like it's going to start going to where I'm over the hours because of all these people, kids that are very unreliable. Thing is, I'm not looking to be the new manager. Yeah, no, yeah, I thought I saw it on your Instagram. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't let it cook all the way because it was from frozen, so it was pretty black and blue. Kills probably would have had a tear in his eye if he saw it. But hello, Keto Amy, how you doing? Yeah, no, that's true. Unfortunately, that can be kind of problematic too at the same time. Because I'm not I just wanted to work a couple, like a few hours a week, and you know, and the thing is like I like the planned schedule because it allows me to revolve my channel and everything like that around it. And when things go off kilter, I have to rearrange my plans, even stuff that's not YouTube related. I have to rearrange. Like I actually was expecting a delivery to come, and I like to be here when those deliveries come because sometimes they'll deliver like to another building if I don't make sure they deliver to the right spot. And I'm talking about food delivery. So in order to do this, I had to cancel out the food delivery, and I got to reschedule it again. And it's just the whole reason why I did it at the time I did it was because I wasn't working. It's all good. It's just I don't know. I think what my problem is I have a very hard time saying no. I've always have, and after a while, like people take advantage of that, and it then stresses me out because it's like, okay, eventually I gotta just say no to this person, and not feel so bad because somebody else didn't go in to do their job. You know? I mean, it's not my fault, and it's not their fault either. It's the person that screwed up. I mean, from what I hear, this person not only did not show up, but she never called or anything. And when he tried calling her, she was MIA. No, not the whole gang, Juliet, but a lot of us are here. I'm still waiting on Thomas. Okay, so let me put this in the chats. Okay. Thomas, how likely is it they're calling you and writing your hours up because you are part time and they don't have to pay overtime or find another person? There, that's always an option there, Federal Grandma. Definitely always an option. Ashley is here. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Holy, hello, Ashley. Wow. Oh my God. So I'm gonna put inside the chat what I always put inside the chat. Um, if anybody wants to come on here and say hello, you're more than welcome. Because we all know that me by myself is pretty boring. Um, I don't think any of us can deny that. So, you think I would have had a good show yesterday if Aaron wasn't there? Anybody's welcome. I got a pretty good lineup coming up um, for the next few. I mean, I generally try to do Tuesdays at around 2. But as you can see, sometimes things do adjust in each week. Um, Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Um, I try to adjust. I go around the actual guest. And sometimes they can't always do exactly where I'm focusing on. So we got to kind of work together, which is why I need to have a set schedule for work because I'm setting around that and around so all these things you know and um, But I got a pretty good lineup. Next person who's going to be on will be Alyssa from SVG, Coach Alyssa. So I don't if anybody knows about her, she's a wonderful person. If you don't know about her, she's still a wonderful person. Very sweet, very nice, and I think everybody that I put on here has that is willing to come on here is a pretty good guest. And then we got the infamous Carrie Mann. Um, that's going to be on the following week. Oh, wow. Hey, Ashley. Hey. How you doing?
Good. It just muted the other channel out, so hopefully you don't get a bad echo.
Okay. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I thought I'd pop on for a quick second. I appreciate what you're doing, Thomas.
Oh, thank you. And you, I don't know if Adam talked to you or not, but you were definitely invited to be one of my guests. Um, so whenever you want to schedule that and stuff like that, probably won't be until like either September or October, but you know,
Yeah, well, I love that you're that booked out. That's fantastic. Good
yeah.
job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah.
Man, I just had to come on and brag a little bit about the Montana meetup because it was so cool.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we're working on trying to get out a video, kind of another behind the scenes video of what me and my brother Rhett did. But man, we cooked a lot of meat.
Well, I saw the images of you help doing the food and everything. So I
Yeah,
definitely would have liked to have gone to that, but
it
you know,
was it
unfortunately, I
was
just couldn't.
crazy.
I can't afford the travel. You know.
That's that's the biggest. I think that's why more than anything, that's why I volunteered and raised my hand to like help out. And I'm like, what can I do? So yeah, that was a good event, but it was just amazing. The meat quality was so good. We smoked 500 pounds of picanha,
Oh my god.
100 pounds of hanger steak, 100 bone marrow bones, 75 tomahawks. It was crazy. But
See, if I was there, then I'd be like, okay, where are you going to give the others? That's
yeah,
the real.
right. Yeah, it was funny because several people who were not part of the carnivore group were like, "Who's going to eat all this?" And you'd be surprised there was not that much left over. They
I no, I'm not surprised at
they
all.
put it down. They
I'm,
put
I'm
it
not
down.
surprised.
The carnivores can eat.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely like. I have to kind of like tell myself like, okay, I'm done now. But if I didn't do that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, keep it coming. You
Yeah.
know, especially the rarer it is, the better. You know.
Oh man, and I don't want to brag too much on it, but man, we nailed the cook on all of it. Those tomahawks especially were so good. They were all just perfect, right between rare and medium rare. Because some
Mhm.
people like it a little bit more, but we didn't even give them a choice. It was just like this is how it was. But
Right.
we
Well, I
showed.
mean, you think about it. Okay, if you cook it rare, right, and then somebody like wants it more well done, you can cook it a little bit more. You
Exactly.
know,
If they really
but
wanted
if
that
you cook
bad,
it well done, you can't make it rare.
exactly.
You
Yep.
know, so
Over
I
and
mean,
done with.
you
And
got to think a little logically there. You know.
we knew we were serving to the carnivore community, and so one of our the first night when we were doing it for the main dinner thing was about 150 people. We had some of the picanhas, and we just went ahead and labeled them as like there was some that was medium and medium well, and out of all the tubs that were left over, of course, those were the tubs that were left over. Like if there was any extra picanha that was left over at the end of the night, that was it. So it was clear the audience of carnivores were definitely like it on more of the rare side. So
Right. Yeah.
as as
Yeah.
expected.
I've always liked my meat like rare, even before I became carnivore. You know,
Yeah.
like my family always thought like, oh, you're crazy. I'm like, but I had a logical reason why I did it. Like whenever I go to a restaurant, I always ask for like rare to medium rare, and my family would be like, "Oh, you really like it? That's weird," you know. I said, but I was kind of a cheapskate,
Yeah.
so I would get like a whole steak and then cut it in half and then take the other rest home. And I figured if I cook it at home and it's already well done, well now I'm like making
Yeah.
it to charcoal,
It's
you
just
know.
dry. Terrible. Yeah, exactly. Well, cool.
So it just made more sense. So I appreciate you coming on here. And like I said, just I don't really have your email address. I don't know if you want to write down mine or not.
Yeah,
But
I'll put it in the chat here. It's pretty simple. I respond best now to Ashley at healinghumanity.movie. I've since
okay,
being with the team there.
and yeah, I'll send you an invite, and then you could just
Yeah, we'll
you
set a
know,
date.
yeah. I mean, right now I've landed like a couple. I mean, I'm working with Adam to figure out a day and time with him. But the concept of having Carrie Mann on the 22nd is
There you
totally
go.
immense. And
Yeah,
I actually just landed for the 23rd of September. I just landed Dave Mack.
very nice, Dave.
Yeah,
Super cool.
so it's
Yeah,
really
that's great. Again, I love what you're doing. I love the community support. I love your story.
Thank
and
you.
it's about getting those stories out there. So my
Yep.
passion's turned to these meetups, and I just love it. And the more I can do and help organize with those and stuff, and you know,
And we all help in the way we can, and this is how I'm doing my contributions. Like just getting people on and just telling their stories. That's it. You help out the meetups and everything, and
yeah. So we've got the next one, of course, is Montello. That one's almost sold out. We sold a few more last night. I don't know that there's that many tickets left. And then
yeah, I think it was said like there's some regular ones, but no more VIPs.
yeah, no more VIPs because the restaurant that we're doing it at, Montello's a pretty small community, so they've got a good hookup with a barbecue place there, and they're going to cook the briskets up with no seasonings or anything else on it, like we did last time, which it worked out perfect. But there's a capacity of 60 people to that one, so
Yeah.
that one's going to be limited on the tickets. But Gary, they can fit about 150 in the theater, so
No, I mean Montello is definitely on my. I'd like to say bucket list, but I don't. That doesn't sound right. So my learning to live again list, and I even told Kerry that. So he said like there's a room for me at the B&B. So um,
yeah, I was very, very blessed. We've become good friends over the last 2 years, and me and my family got to go up and visit them. That'll be hopefully in a little video coming out soon on our channel. But it was really neat to spend some time with them up on their homestead and get to hang out. Kerry was crazy with it. He's got a thing called the Argo, like six wheels, and pretty old little machine, so they don't really care too much. And he's just going crazy with my daughter on the back end, and they do what's called a dumpster bump. And so he's like going at full speed and he cranks it just at the last bit. And the idea is just to barely hit the dumpster they've got there, touch the back end of it. So it
oh
was
god,
watching them do that. They had a
that
good
sounds so cool.
yeah. It
That
was
sounds
fun.
so cool.
Carnivore community is a great community. We love it.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you have to. You can't stay for too long. So.
Yeah, I wanted to pop in and say hello. I try to watch whenever you come on and put my
Oh,
video
I
on.
appreciate
So,
that.
yeah, man, it works out well during my work day, but I can sometimes I'm working or on a call, so I just have it off to the side here. And
Yeah,
that way,
I appreciate when anybody ever comes on and stuff like that. It's always good,
yeah, yeah, happy
to hear
to.
people to hear other people's voices.
It's weird when you're the one streaming and trying to keep up with the chat. It's one thing to read it, but yeah, it's nice to actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to like I know that Ellen Scooby the dog is just came on. So hello,
Yeah,
Ellen.
Ellen,
Um,
I love it. We've got a good community, so
yeah,
yeah.
I mean I actually had Mitch on like about a couple weeks ago, which
Nice.
is like he doesn't come out that often, so that's pretty
No,
cool. You know.
he's a good guy too.
Made me feel like I'm kilt worthy, So,
Well, your story definitely is. So keep telling it, keep spreading the good news, and keep the updates coming.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
Uh,
brother. We'll talk to
I'll
you.
see you probably in the next Healing Humanity Zoom call. All
Okay, sounds good.
right.
All right,
All right.
talk to you
Cool.
later.
Yep.
All right,
All right. Bye.
bye.
All right. I'm not sure actually how you get out. I never figured that out. So you might be trapped back there. No, I'm just kidding. You'll figure it out. I think it's like a corner button. You just type your name and just say exit, like leave the scene. And I see that Lexi just joined. So hello, Lexi. There he goes. Okay, cool. That's my way of trapping people in here. Is I have it set that no one can leave. So how we doing today, Lexus? You feeling good? So that's pretty cool. Ashley from Carnivore Brothers just came on. Mm. Yes, Ashley, it worked. If you're hearing me, you definitely left completely the backstage. Sorry about that. I'm not sure. I have to figure out how to fix that. Oh, you're meeting with Alyssa today. Okay. Hopefully that goes well. Hopefully that goes well. Um, Alyssa's a good person. Alyssa's a very good person. Don't tell her I said that though. Might make her head too big. But, okay. And you know what? Sometimes just unplugging it, Ashley, is probably the best way to do it. You know. Um, Thomas and Carrie always skip my questions, so I apologize. What is the question you just asked, Juliet? I'm going to look for it as soon as you put. Can you just repeat it? And then I will put out. I'll put it right up as soon as I can. Okay. He was probably there, Ellen. I haven't been to the Montel meetups yet, and I say yet because that is something I do plan on doing at some point. Whether it takes, I don't care if I'm like 98 when I go. I'm gonna go. And Carrie just has to stay alive. Well, Carrie's younger than me, so if I go to 98, he's definitely gonna do it. Oh, when is the Montel meetup? I have to look that up. I don't know. Um, Let me see if I can look it up. Hmm. Let me see if I have. Really? Humanity movie. All right. According to this, July 26th is the Montello, so it's in about a week. Hey, Mitch, how you doing? I'm always glad to see you. Even if it's just you smoking a cigar. I was asking before how were you going to a luau after your stream before with the shirt? Isn't that what we all try to do, Mitch? Like just start our days off so then we feel like we're ahead of the game, even though life has a different plan for us. Yeah, I like the meetups. I mean, like I said, I definitely want to go to Montello just because I want to look at that, check out the theater and all that stuff. So I'm going to put it in here, not for any particular reason, but I'm going to put in another link. If anybody wants to come in and say hello, you're always welcome. You all know that. And I emphasize the word all. Okay. So I guess I didn't finish my lineup. So I have Alyssa for the next one on the 15th. I have Carrie Mann coming in on the 22nd. And on the 29th, I have Lash um, coming in. Stephen Lash. He's coming in on the 29th. And then into September, so far I just have, I think, into August, I have No Slow coming in. And then I have to double check on that. And in September, I have the definite confirmation of Dave Mack coming in on the 23rd. And a few days before that, for a special birthday live, I have Russ Mitchell, Homesick Buckeye, coming in on my birthday on the 20th. So I definitely hope you guys actually look at that, see that. Um, I do have others. I just don't remember what they are. Let me actually look. For some reason, my phone took calendar out of my thing, so I gotta actually Google it and then bring calendar up. So, um, Google Calendar. Why I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. I mean, it's still in there. It's just for some reason it doesn't come up as an app. So I have, yeah, on the 5th. Oh, and Tim Walker from Walker to Walking is supposed to be on. I'm trying to change the schedule because I can't really do Wednesdays, so I'm trying to change it to either the 19th or one other day. So, but he's not. If anybody knows Tim, please email me back. Which day would be better? Yeah, Russ is a great guy, and I figure he's pretty good too because I mean he's a former comedian, so um, I thought that would be really fun. Now the thing I'm looking forward to is, and I have nothing planned yet, but um, January 1st is New Year's. But it's also my 1 year anniversary. So, or carniversary, may I say. So I like to do a pretty good, like I don't know, like something pretty big. So if anybody has any ideas on what I could do on that day, you know, um, let me know. Thank you, Juliet. That's pretty cool. 15 watching and 8 likes. I'm not really looking at the YouTube version because I just don't know. I'm just right on the streaming section. But let me go to my YouTube. I'll do it from my phone so then I don't disturb us in here. We just turn the volume down so it doesn't disturb us. Does anybody see Carnivore Transformers video? Um, ah, one of my favorite people. Hey, Lexi, how we
Hi.
doing? Uh,
Good. How are you?
I'm always good, especially when you come on. So
Thanks.
you're
Oh my
welcome.
gosh, I'm so excited to meet with Melissa, but I'm so nervous. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. So I don't know if I should prepare my story or if we're just gonna chit chat. So
So she never
yeah.
gave you like a preempt of why you're doing this?
Well, she said that she wants me to be a guest on in the community, the steak and butter gang community, and tell my story and everything. But as far as today, I have no idea what's happening.
Did she say when the guest thing will be? Like when she wants?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You know, the whole concept is new to me. So
Me too.
yeah. Uh, I mean, usually the guests they have on the Zoom calls are usually like doctors or people that are like,
Hmm.
like people that are like really really high up in the, like they had oh God, what's her name, Lily Kane on once, you know
Hmm.
that so I mean it's possible maybe maybe they want you to do a live with Bell or something like that and they're just prepping you for that.
Maybe that'd be cool.
um, I wouldn't know, but I think it's still pretty exciting no matter what, like whatever it is, take advantage of it, because it's going to be a great opportunity for you either way, no
I
matter
think so too. I still, side note, I still have not made my 30-day carnivore update. I know I need to do it. I don't know. I'm just so overwhelmed. And like,
that's fine.
I have this phone interview. I think you were there during the Inspiring Today thing
The
for
where?
the Healing Humanity group that happened last night.
Oh, yeah, I was there for a little bit.
I,
I Yeah. Well, no, I was
I,
there the whole time. I probably dozed off maybe part of it.
I brought up how I have a phone interview with this nursing home place next Wednesday for
Right.
the receptionist job. I hope I get that job. I'm asking for God to give me like a clear sign that this is where I'm supposed to work. So I'm waiting on that. I don't
Well, I
know,
mean, yeah. I mean, I'm praying for you, and I'm hoping that you get in. Obviously,
but
but sometimes things happen that we don't expect or don't want to happen, but it ends up being the better thing. It's
mm,
just what we think is good is not necessarily good. When we think bad is better than we thought. So, even though I've made complaints about my job and everything like that, I still kind of like just hanging in there, just riding the rails, and just hoping and praying that things just don't, the tides don't go over. Like my biggest worry in my job is my boss just not realizing I can't go over these hours,
yeah.
and me having to go, to him and say, I can't do this. Like stop asking me every single time. Like you set the schedule. I revolve my life around that schedule. Well, don't keep on being like, oh well, can you come in an extra day? Can you come in? No, it's like, and you feel guilty about saying the no, as I do, and it's just, like eventually it's like I feel like I have to just basically say, okay, you know what, the hell with it. I'm just going to leave the job altogether because I can't trust you to, say you feel bad, you know. But
Hmm.
right now I'm just going to ride the rails and or surf the waves, whatever you want to call. Depends on where you are in your life, I guess. If you're California or whatever, and just hope and pray that it doesn't happen. You know,
What do you do for work?
right now it's just I work at a convenience store, just like
Nice.
a few hours a day, just enough to. I can't really work more than 8 hour, like an 8 hour shift anymore because, at least not yet. I shouldn't say anymore because, there was a time where I couldn't even work a 1 hour shift. Now I can at least work 4 hours. So I know I can work 8 hours eventually, but if I keep on healing, but it's just taking a long time. My body was destroyed, very badly,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean,
I totally,
I was
I
probably closer
totally,
to death than people realize.
mhm. I totally feel that. Like, I mean, I can work an 8-hour shift. It's just mentally. I don't know. And I mean, this job is only part time. It's just on the weekends, so if I have to work 8-hour shifts, like I'm okay with that. It's just working full time that I've only ever been able to do a couple times, and it was very short lived. I ended up like getting so overwhelmed. This was like 2021 to 2022. I
Mm.
was working full time, and over time, like I just got so stressed out and um started drinking every day, and it just wasn't good. I mean, I'm hoping in the future, especially on carnivore, that I'll be able to do that. Like that's my hope and kind of my dream, honestly. Like I would
Mm.
love to be like a normal person that works full time, goes to school part time, lives on their own, and has a car, like all that stuff. I wish I could do that, and so hopefully in the future I'll be able to.
Well, I mean, I don't really think that's necessarily normal anymore. I mean, I know,
Okay.
you know, I don't, I think that's like just like, I mean, and I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that. Believe me, far from it. But I think that life now, and I think a lot of people probably see that too. It's probably very rare. It's probably like maybe 20% of all of us have that kind of employment. Most of us we work the weekends. When we're doing full time. I can't say that for myself, but when I was working, I worked like there was every day. I worked many hours. And unless you're a banker, and even when you're a banker, you probably still work more than expected, or hours that you're
Hmm.
expecting. I think that 9 to 5 was more of like Leave It to Beaver, era, or 9 to 5. And I get what you're saying. I just don't think you should like achieve that to thinking that's what normal is. I think you're pretty close to normal already, a lot closer than you think you are. I mean, just get the job you have, and you just learn to work around the schedule. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Right.
sure half the people on here you could probably ask them, and they probably be like, "Yeah, well, I work this, and I work midnight shifts, or I work for the school, and you know, and my hours are this," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's not 9 to 5. Oh, okay,"
Oh yeah, and I'm flexible with my schedule. It says I can't work overnights, but I'm fine with evening shift,
Oh
afternoon,
yeah,
morning.
yeah. No, I know you're flexible. I'm just saying don't like you're saying someday I'll work normal schedule. Technically, all these schedules are normal because this is just the way
Mm.
life is. It's just like think about when you're a parent. You can't be 9 to 5 as a parent. It's like at least if you're a good one. I guess if you're really bad, I guess it's like, okay, honey, it's 5 o'clock. It's time for you to go to sleep now. Excuse me. I still have that bad cough. It's probably why I'm a little annoyed by being called into work early too. Um,
Mm.
Papa Carnivore is here. Your your um
Publicist
your
like,
your biggest fan,
hi Pop, hi Peter.
Peter Papa.
Here, Sandy.
What's that? Like Peter Papa picked a pile of peppers, and it looks like Ashley's still in the background here.
How was your day, Thomas?
It's going well. Like I said, I was called in last minute to go to work, and that was fun. I was a little grumpy about it, but I guess it was okay. It was like, can you hold on 1 second?
Hmm.
Sorry about that. I didn't want to cough in front of on top of everybody.
You're okay.
Well, I sort of have to be right. uh, no, I was just a little annoyed because being called in last minute, because I don't like
Mhm.
things, and I sort of I had a delivery coming, and I like to be their delivery because they're kind of idiots, I mean, like Walmart does, and it's very good pricing, and you can get deliveries and everything like that. But sometimes they'll deliver like 5 buildings over, and I don't feel like walking 5 buildings over, so I have to kind of like be on top of when they're coming and be like literally direct them to where to go. So I sort of just I let them just deliver it and hoped and prayed that everything turned out okay. So
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it
they,
did.
they delivered to the right place, so it was good. And it wasn't really perishable, so I didn't have to worry about ice cream melting or anything like that. Not that I eat ice cream anymore.
Right.
I guess I could make Kiltz's ice cream, but I just haven't done that yet.
Hmm. I've made whipped cream before.
Okay,
It's
whipped
really
cream's
good.
yeah, whipped cream's
Hmm.
good. It's just heavy
Well,
cream and just whip it until.
well, I used to. I don't make it anymore. I really don't have heavy cream anymore because I'll way overdo it.
Okay.
But I've made whipped cream with sweetener before. Can't have sweetener anymore just because it triggers me. But when I used to make it, like, it's very good.
Okay, so Rockin' Keto Amy, which we know was keto for quite a while because that's hence the name, and now she's doing carnivore. So she's asking how long before the carnivore energy kicks in. I'm suffering from menopause exhaustion and need to get past it. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What's your experience? Also, have brain fog from menopause. Well, last time I checked, I don't have menopause. So I can't really say that's my experience. I mean, you know, so I do
But that's
apologize on that, Amy. But that maybe, and isn't menopause when you're older?
mhm.
Yeah. So my guess is Lexi hasn't experienced that either. So I don't know if there's anybody in the chats that can help you with that answer.
I would say it probably will take longer for you just because you are in menopause. But yeah, I don't know. For me, my carnivore energy started in the beginning, but since I'm on so many meds now, I'm feeling more sedated unless I drink a lot of coffee. And so I'm waiting for the carnivore energy again too. I think I just have to get off some meds. But yeah, are you on any medications too? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if you take estrogen or anything like that, but yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
mean
just
that's I
give it
mean
more
that's
time.
really hard. I mean, a lot of things I find to start kicking in around the 90-day mark. Like things happen for me 30 days, and things happen to me. Excuse me. Oh my god. 60 days, but 90 is when I really start feeling some improvements.
Hmm.
And so I would definitely earmark yourself for 90 days. Now it could happen sooner than 90 days, but I would just be like, okay, 90 days, and just kind of go in that respect. Um, like my question is, with that question is, where's Dr. Kilt when you need him? Because I think that would be a perfect question for him. Being a fertility doctor and everything. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, he goes live on his YouTube channel at like 5 a.m. Central Time, and I was
yeah,
able to be on his live. I was able to ask my question to him about raw
yeah,
meat and everything.
very good. Yeah, he had that ability. Have you talked to him or talked to Alia about you going on his show or no?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Um,
I'm
you're part of
nervous.
the community, right?
What'd you say?
You're part of the Kills community, right? Like you're
I am.
okay. So I would actually, if I were you, I would actually, because she was asking about people that would want to come on. So I would take
Really?
advantage of that. Yeah, I'm actually coming. I'm actually going on a second time myself. So on the 19th of September. So
Mm.
uh, I would I would see like, hey, Alia, I'd love to go on and talk with you guys at 6 a.m. and be literally on the show and be able to tell a little bit of my story to you guys.
Mm.
Would that be okay? And like when do you think we could? If it is, when could we do it? I definitely think you should be able to do it. And you shouldn't even have to have any backup because I'm sure they'll say yes. I can't see them saying no to you. You know, because they're
Mhm.
looking for people. So there you go. You take advantage of that. You know,
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to slow down a little bit. I'd like to get through Carrie and Dave Mack's interview
I don't
just
blame
because
you. I don't blame you.
I'm feeling really nervous about those. So adding more on top of that is like making me nervous.
Well, I mean, the good thing about it is it's they're always looking. So do Carrie, do Dave Mack, take a rest, and if you feel you want to do more, then call. Then you have at least in your head, hey, Kilt is somebody I could call. You know, so I think you're doing wonderful as you're
Thank you.
everything you're doing. I really do. You're such an inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oaktown Girl is here. Actually, yes. Thank you, Oaktown Girl. Bella, her group does a lot of talking about women's. Um, I'm not going to say issues because they're not really issues. Just women's body, you know, women's, you know,
Sorry, my
women's
alarms are going off.
natural form of being, you know, from what I'm hearing, you know. So, but yeah, as for being tired all the time, I'm 6 months. Just to let you know, Keto Amy, I'm 6 months in, and I still get tired all the time. And I think there's two reasons why you get tired. Either I didn't put enough fat in my diet, or I did put enough fat in my diet, but my body is healing. I like to think the latter, that I'm going through a healing process, and each time it causes me to have to sleep and have to, you know, I just like to think of it that way. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I just like to think of the concept that, hey, yeah, right now I need to fall asleep. I need to go to sleep, but tomorrow I'll I'll find out that I've lost like 20 pounds, and a lot of times that does happen. Like I'll find out like, hey, wait, this shirt fits me a lot better now, or um, like now I'm finding out this shirt's actually runs a little bit tighter. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got the Bill Knott shirt on, so
Nice.
yeah. So this one's running a little bit tighter. Hey, Jill. But lately, all my extra large shirts now are starting to become baggy. But
How come?
I'm at that very awkward stage though because all the large shirts are still very tight. So it's like I'm too big to wear a large, but now I'm becoming a little too small to really wear an extra large. So I guess I'm more of like an extra large slim, you know.
Hmm.
So which there is such thing as an extra large slim, believe it or not.
I bet.
Yeah. And I would know because I used to work in the tuxedo business and suits and stuff like that. So I know all about tapering and tailoring and all that stuff. So
I'm still getting used to the fact that I'm a size medium in my tops now, because for the last several years I've been a large. Well, for a while I was an extra large too, but then I got down to large, and now I still buy large clothes. Like, and then I'm like, why is this baggy on me?
yeah,
My bottoms are still a large, but I also wear leggings, so they
yeah.
fit for a
Well,
long time.
it's funny. I used to make the joke, and keep in mind this is a joke, nothing more than that. Okay, on how women are so vain, and they, like a lot of times they'd be like, what are you talking about? I said, okay, let's look at this. Okay, I measure your waist at a 28. Okay, yet I have to look at the chart to take that 28 waist and say it's a size 2. You know, so think about that for 1 second. You can't hear the word 28 for your waist.
Mm.
Even though, like you have to kind of be like, oh, well, I'm a 2. Like there's this convert. Men don't have that. If we measure at 28 waist, we're 28 waist. If we measure it, like we
Lucky.
might change ourselves up a little bit and like wear our pants like below our knees, so then that way we can get a lower size waist, because our bellies are hanging over or whatever. But women are the only ones that actually converted their numbers in order to.
Yeah. And you're lucky. You're lucky because since you have an exact measurement, you know what pants to buy. For women, every brand is like there's
Oh
like
yeah,
let's say I'm a size 10 in most clothes, but other places I'm a size 8. Other places I'm like a size 12. So it's very confusing, but
yeah, which is probably why fitting rooms are so needed. Because how would if you took it home and tried it on a home, it's a totally different thing. So
mhm.
it's good to have the fitting rooms, for the most part. I mean, for me, I had to just wear my clothes really baggy because with my foot and everything like that, it's hard for me to try on pants. So now
Mhm.
I can do it, but which is very hard. Hey Graham, how you doing? I saw your video today. Okay, so I'm gonna just disappear just for 2 seconds, Lexi. So don't worry.
I
Okay.
I have to go so I can get ready for the meeting, but it was so nice talking to you, and I'm
Oh,
so
it's
glad I
always
got
nice
to
talking to
meet
you.
you guys.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So I'm just going to leave the screen for just 1 second. I'm not going. This thing's not over yet. Just give me a couple seconds. Okay, so I don't know, but can anybody guess what just happened? Um, I had to blow my nose. So um, I'm opening up a can of seltzer. I bought some polar seltzer, and now I'm spilling it on my computer, which is probably not good. All right, so I'll put the link in the chat. So I wish Lexi good luck with that. And Alyssa will be on my show on the 15th. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully, I got basically what happened with Aaron yesterday is this particular live stream was saying that my storage was full and I wasn't able to do any more. And I'm not saving any, I'm not saying, like it was putting in a savings, but my saving is like once the video is made, it's on YouTube. So I'm not saving any videos on here. So so I don't really need to save this stuff. So so I was able to delete you know the back files and everything, and now we're working. So this is good. I have it. I already announced the video that I'm going to be doing with Alyssa. I don't know what her plans are. Um, I never do know what their plans are because I allow it to be an open book. If they want to tell her, hopefully they tell their story. I mean, the whole reason why I have this on is to tell at least a little bit of your story. And I give you enough time to be able to do it without feeling like I have to like rush it or anything like that. Make it as little pressure as possible. So I try to do that. And I like this platform. I mean, I do have to admit that StreamYard has some things in it that I like. This one is a little bit harder to figure that out, but it's it is less costly. Let's put it that way too. You know. So um, so does anybody have any plans for the weekend? Yeah, I'm gonna just try to scroll through um, chats here. Because what might be easier for me is to go back to this phone. Whenever I plug in the charger, it always. That is true, Rocking Keto Amy. Maybe I'll do that at some point. But right now, it's more important that I'm able to do the lives. And when something blocks me from doing the live, that becomes pretty problematic to me. But yes, I will get some kind of like saving device that I can do because this computer's not handling too much on the memory. Oh God, that yeah, that does not sound like fun, Terry. So unless that's your definition of fun, but to me, it's not. So let me. You know what, Graham? That is a perfect weekend. I haven't played video games in such a long time. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually one of the things I'm getting are these like it's kind of like tint to and they're pretty easy to install. They're like kind of like reflectors for the windows to keep the sun from reflecting inside, like shining up inside. Because that's part of the problem that I have. It's like the air conditioner is really not working because the apartment's getting so heated up from the windows plus you know plus the laundromat and also being kind of like down and over from you know the chocolate place. I was making cookies and stuff like that. So the heat of everything is just coming in and it's kind of fighting the air conditioner. You know, so I'm just doing some tricks that might help me, like putting the film over the window so then that way the sun doesn't come in. You know, and I got new curtain rods too because got thicker ones because the ones I had were very very thin. And my former roommate decided to always pull on them, so now they're all bent out of shape. And so I'm just replacing with thicker ones, so then I can put some really good curtains that are sturdy. You know. Oh, okay. Um. Now I hope we don't have to buy the book. um. Yeah. Um, oh, Mill, mother-in-law. That's pretty cool. But I'm guessing um they eat the cake and everything. Yeah. They don't want to, like, like, it's funny, like when I used to measure people and you measure around the waist, which is technically around the belly button. People don't realize that. And um they would always go under the belly and they're like, "Oh, this is my waist." No, that's not your waist. That's not your waist, but that's how people thought. So, like, if I measured somebody, they would wear their pants low. So, you have to kind of like either fix it or whatever. But a lot of people don't realize that, your belly is, you got to go around your belly, and that's where your actual waist is. Now, it does make your legs loose and does this, but that's, we're not meant to have big bellies like that. Yeah, are we meant to have a little fat for healing and stuff like that? Yeah, sure we are. But I do agree with Kilt on that part. I think we have it because we are healing from something, but we're not meant to have that big belly. At least I don't think we are. And people just don't realize that. That sounds so good, Amy. It really does. You know, I actually today I felt like a steak, so I had some like. Actually, you know what? Lewis actually inspired me to have London broil today when I saw his thing, and then someone else had something about London broil too. I'm like, you know what? God darn it! I had London broil, so I'm going to have some London broil. And I after work I went and put it into. It was too big for the for the air fryer, so I put it in the oven and I put it in from frozen, and I put it in for about first 25 minutes. It's still a little frozen, so I put it in for another 10, and we pulled it out, cut it in half, got myself that stick of butter. The only thing I didn't do is put the bison tallow on it, so I kind of needed the butter. And yeah, I don't actually have a grill, so I can't really do that option. But one of the things I like to invest in is a bigger air fryer, like one of those, like, I forget where I was seeing it. It's a couple $100, but I think it'd be worth it to actually that you can air fry and like has a grill to it. Um, but it's all indoor. You know, so I think that would be kind of cool to do. Oh, that sounds good, marinade. So I guess that means you're off lion diet now completely. If you're using seasonings, or are you just like, or are you just kind of adding it to the lion diet? Like it's no longer lion, but it's not really. Someone give me a cupcake. No cupcake. You said that to me, so I'm saying it to you. No cupcake. I mean, I have to admit, um, when my birthday hits or the 1 year anniversary, I like to try Bella's cheesecake. I used to love cheesecake, and if that's 100% carnivore, I like to try it. So you know, like closer to, I'll just get the ingredients. Like, I get do my thing September 1st and everything like that. So I'll just get everything I need for September 20th, or I'll get everything I need for January 1st. Everybody's asking how you're doing, Lewis. You're infamous. So Lewis says, I am good. All right. That's good. It's always good to be good. Yeah, I got to get back to reading for the coaching course. I mean, I have like 5 days, but that's, you know. So, uh, here's Mr. Orange Shirt himself.
It's easier just to come in.
What was that?
It's easier for me just to come in and tell you how I'm doing.
No.
Type it. So first, let's look at my shirt. It's a cake.
Oh, that looks good. That cake looks very edible.
It says I am nutritious, and then below the cake it says the cake is a liar. Okay, so that's my shirt for today.
Your wife got you a lot of cool shirts there.
It's a video game reference. Yep. Yeah, so I'm doing good. Like, London broil, I was looking up recipes, and it's a tough meat, it's a lean meat. So the recipe was like soak it overnight in a Ziploc bag in this like basically like a homemade Italian dressing. So it was like avocado oil, white wine vinegar, juice of a lemon. I used a lime instead, I didn't have a lemon. Salt, pepper. I did white pepper instead of black pepper. Garlic. I used garlic, and then I put some like Italian seasoning in there, and I shock it up, and I soaked it overnight. But listen, how much of that really stays on it? I grilled it
Yeah, I mean,
until it got, so it
probably
didn't. I
not
didn't
too
taste it,
much.
you know.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I mean, I still think it's I
Hey,
mean,
Rick.
I guess it depends on how long you marinate it for. If it's going to absorb into the meat.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. The whole point is that it goes into the meat, and then yeah, I grilled it, and then I used the torch to crisp the outside, so the inside didn't get too well done, and it was delicious. You saw the picture,
Yeah,
and
no,
I
I did.
topped
It
it
was
with some
beautiful.
tallow,
It was beautiful.
and I had some leftovers, and I just ate it for lunch. It was good. So
I
that's
mean,
it.
any kind of steak always puts a tear in my eye. So it's
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
but yeah,
when you made me that steak at your house, you could see that I had a
yeah,
little tear in my eye when you made it.
it was good. It was good.
You know.
It was good. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna still do just beef only. But I'm gonna start to introduce some things like I had some seasonings last night. I'm gonna see how I feel. I feel fine today.
Yeah.
Blood sugar's fine. Um, uh, I almost made this is what I was typing, and then I decided to join. I almost made a cup of coffee this morning, and then but I didn't do it because I was gonna do decaf.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I didn't do it, so
Well, I mean,
it's
as you
fine.
know, I got rid of the bacon. I got rid of the eggs for myself, so I'm no longer
Yeah.
doing
You're
that.
just doing butter.
I'm doing like basically what I call BC limes. I still have the coffee. I couldn't really get off of that,
Mhm.
and I put the butter back in, because I just felt I wasn't getting enough fat. So sometimes I guess whenever I feel like a little agitated, I just
Mhm.
feel like I kind of go like Papa Carnivore's recommendation of eating more fat. Whenever you feel like
Yep.
depressed or anything like that. So that's what. Now I don't know if it's going to help me any, and I don't know if it's going to give me the problem I had, which is why I got off the butter in the first place. But I think if I, am careful about it, or a lot
Mhm.
more, then I think I'm okay. Like right now, I am back to one stick of butter, but it seems to be okay.
And see,
I don't seem to be having any
seasonings,
problems. What was that?
you've been using just salt or anything else?
No, I use the salt too. I got quite a bit of salt. For some reason, my body is
But
craving it.
just salt.
Yeah.
No other seasoning.
Oh
Yeah.
no, another seasoning. No.
Listen,
I add
lots
it
of
after it's done. You know, like once it's
and
cooked, I put it.
Amy's talking about, you know, carnivores using seasonings, and so many of them. Yeah, I know. I saw your salt yesterday too during the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I used up the other salt.
So
The smoked salt's gone. So
oh, good.
yeah,
So many carnivores use seasoning. Kelly Hogan uses seasonings. It's fine. It's
yeah,
fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm finally off the coffee that I kind of like. I like it. Like I remember, I have fond memories. I enjoy drinking coffee. But now that I'm off of it, I kind of was like, should I just let me just stay off of it? You
right.
know?
Right. Well, today I did for the first time in a long time. Like I've always done butter coffee, but like I'll take a couple pats and put it in and just stir it up with a spoon. This time I took I took a half a stick of
Wow.
butter and I took the coffee that they gave me downstairs and I just came up
Hmm.
with it being hot. Put the half a stick in there. I cut it up still.
Yeah,
So it's
chunks.
easier to, you know. But I put in the coffee, and then I had this like hand blender,
Mm,
that just fit. That's why I'm using such a big coffee cup because it just fit
the whole
around
thing.
this. And I just took it and just, and
Nice.
made, I could probably have done it with a whole stick of butter if I wanted to, but
I have a bullet, like the magic bullet, like
yeah,
little
I never.
mini blender.
I always was going to get one, but I just never
I
did.
found it at Home Goods for $20 on clearance.
Oh, that's a good price.
And it fits a cup of coffee, and then that when I use butter, I put the butter in there, and I put it in the bullet, and it like mixes everything so good. It looks like you put milk in the coffee.
Yeah,
It
oh,
eventually will
exactly what it looked
separate,
like. Yeah,
but it's
even with half a
yeah,
stick, it looked like that. It was
yeah.
like, that was. What I like about the Magic Bullet is I don't know if it's all of them, but I think they have a, a version of it where the thing
Is
becomes
a
the cup.
cup.
Yeah,
It is. It
and
has a
you
handle.
could
Yep.
bring it around, and literally like you have like a thing to go over, so
Yep.
you can bring it to work with you.
Yep. It
Or
has a top. It has a lid that you put on it. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I mean to me that's pretty cool. But I just never, like I said, I just never
Amy,
got one.
Amy, I can't even tell you how much coffee I was drinking. Full caffeine. I, I, I mean, it must have been 10 cups a day. And sometimes I was doing shots of espresso,
Yeah,
you know?
that's a lot.
It was so much caffeine. And honestly, it was causing my blood sugar issues because I think I was just my body was in a constant state of panic because of the caffeine. And my cortisol was out of control. I went cold turkey. I I on May 30th I drank coffee, and on June 1st I was no longer drinking coffee.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think my biggest thing is like I could probably go without coffee for the most
Hmm.
part. Like especially if I don't have it in the house.
I think you have
My
to
problem
time it
is
right.
well, my
Yeah.
problem is, and I think you'll agree with this. At least I think you will. My problem isn't really the coffee. My problem is I just feel I feel a commitment to give downstairs some business, and coffee is really the only business I can give them. And
No, but I thought
I
we
think
talked about this. You don't have to give
yeah,
them any business.
we did, and I admit it.
Yeah.
But I think if I was to get like if I left for like if I went to my sister's house for a couple of weeks and then came back, I would be able to be off coffee then, and then it would become like kind
Hmm.
of like okay, I've been without coffee, so I don't really want it anymore. But now it's just continual. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so maybe that's why I'm doing. Maybe because I'm so busy up here, I don't go down there. But
I also was using coffee as a crutch for appetite. Um, I'm sure that's something that we do a lot in the keto world is when you drink coffee in the morning and it keeps you don't get hungry.
yeah, and
That was a big
it's
part.
also a vice too for the concept that in a way, coffee replaced the sweets. It
Oh,
replaced
of course. Well, my
replaced.
coffee is, and I don't know, Amy, do you put anything in your coffee? My coffee was always with heavy cream, and some type of either stevia or
Mhm.
this terrible zero sugar flavor, like the flavor pump, like the syrup.
Yeah.
Terrible ingredients, but delicious. And then towards most recently, allulose. It was a dessert, and that was and that and I always knew it, but you don't want to admit it. But I was still addicted to sweet tastes through that. That was my way of still being addicted to sugar, even though it wasn't sugar, the sweet tastes.
Right.
So I had to, I haven't had any sweet tastes since when I started June 1st. I haven't had any, not, I haven't had flavored seltzer, which I don't even consider sweet, but it has a flavoring. I haven't had flavored seltzer, flavored water. I haven't had flavored electrolytes since May 30th. Um, and it's funny, today I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll have a lemonade element in my water today. I didn't do it, but I thought about it,
But
so I don't know.
yeah, you still had it in your wheelhouse, basically. Wow. And how does it feel not to have that for such a long time?
Um,
I mean, do you feel like I know you said you thought about it today, but the fact you didn't have it, does that
yeah,
mean that you don't really feel you need it? It's like sort of like just a passing by.
it's a very interesting question because I'm fine without it, without the sweet taste. And I think they say it takes like 2 weeks to form a new habit or whatever. So I'm over that time period. But and I'm fine not having it, and I'm not like going crazy for it. But I know it's still there in my mind. What does Kelly call it? The lizard brain, right?
Right.
I did not get it tested, Bacon Baby. That is Dr. Lewis making a guess. I did not do that. But that's a good question. But what happened was
If you're
6 days
talking
after
about,
I stopped
didn't we
the
say, yeah,
cortisol,
didn't we say something today about that or something?
6 days after
Right.
I stopped coffee, all of a sudden my blood sugar dropped. It was like always around 100, and then all of a sudden it was in the 70s in the morning. So something definitely happened. But yeah, I don't think I
I
would.
have to
I
admit,
don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, you
I
talk
don't.
and then
Yeah,
I'll say.
I don't think I think I could be okay without sweetener, but it's the lizard brain is always there, and if I know if I start using it again, I can't moderate it. So you
Right.
know, I can't moderate
Yeah.
it. So
Well, I
that's
mean, it's
why.
sort of the same with me with the Oreo cookie.
Yeah,
You know, if I can have one, especially during a circumstance, I'm fine.
and you can buy
Like
one. You have to only buy one.
right. Of course,
You
that's
can't
what I
buy.
mean. I can
Remember the
buy
whole
one a week.
sleeve, right?
Right. But if somebody was thought, well, I'm going to put quotation marks because I'm sure they're thinking they're being kind enough, but obviously they're not. I don't think anybody has an vindictive outlook to it. But somebody was to buy me a whole pack of Oreo cookies, I would probably finish the whole pack. Never mind a sleeve. If there's three
I
sleeves, I
mean,
finish all three sleeves.
yesterday at
I just
work,
can't keep going.
we had a meeting yesterday at work, and it was also my boss's birthday, his actual birthday. So they bought this giant sheet cake. It had like cannoli cream and so much icing. And I'm like serving cake. Like they're cutting it, they're putting on plates. I'm running cake out to everyone. I had icing all over my hands, And what do you
Mhm.
do when you have icing on your hands,
You lick your
right?
hands.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not. I didn't. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. But it didn't even. I wasn't even tempted. I'm not going to say that I wasn't tempted. Looking at all that icing, and that icing was my jam. I don't know if anyone else in the chat,
Oh yeah, I used to love.
like
I
like
used to
diabetic
get icing
Lewis. I would eat out of the container.
when
Let's
I
just be
was
real.
when I was. I mean, I'm not
You
really
know.
rich. I'm not really rich now, and I was really never super poor.
Mhm.
But when I had was very like when I before I had, like when I wasn't working, but I didn't have my disability and all that stuff. I used to get my food at the dollar store,
Sure.
and they have there. This is like when I was eating the junk and everything like that. My mom was still alive and everything. I used to get they had a thing of vanilla and they had a thing of chocolate icing.
The
But
little carton.
yes, I used to get a few of them, put some of them in the and I used to put them in the. I put at least one or two in the refrigerator. And if you take that chocolate and you put it in the
With a
refrigerator,
spoon.
it's like fudge, and that was something I used to do.
Yep.
I would just
And
take a
that's
spoon
why
and
and
just
that's why I have diabetes. That's why.
right.
Because I would eat icing the same
I
exact way.
mean,
I love
that
icing.
came later on, so I can't really say the icing gave me diabetes, but it surely as
Well,
hell did not help.
it didn't reverse it. Right. It
No,
didn't reverse it.
it surely as hell did not help it. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
There's other things I did too throughout my life that made it just,
Yep. And
you
that
know,
is the addiction to sugar. It is terrible. So, I I'm definitely an abstainer, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. I do want to try. Hey, Bill, I do want to try um, drinking coffee because I feel like that would be a good thing to be able to flex into socially. Like when I'm out at someone's house for a holiday or out at a coffee shop, like it'd be nice to just be able to have a cup of coffee, decaf. So I am
right.
gonna try that, but I don't want to do it when I'm out. I want to do it at home so that I can monitor myself. And well, I know, Ellen, but icing is
I just
it's
had to
probably
put
the
that
worst
out
thing you can eat.
there.
The worst thing you can eat with a spoon is
Yes,
it's just straight icing. Come on. It wasn't I mean, I love mashed potatoes, and that's not good for diabetes, but it wasn't the potatoes, I'm sure. And, it was the sugar. But, yeah, so definitely wanna try coffee, no sweetener, just a heavy cream. Like Ellen said, I think, salt does help with the bitterness, so I can definitely do that.
I've done that. Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And, uh and that's it, the rest of it just kinda keep doing what I'm doing, I haven't looked at the scale since July 1, um, so I don't know what my weight is doing, if I'm still losing weight or if I'm maintaining weight right now, but I got down to 181, which is just at the overweight mark for my height,
Okay.
um, and, I like that weight. I think I would like 175, but I think I like 181. And if I can eat every day and keep that, then that's a win for me. Yeah, Bill, I haven't who was talking, Thomas, about putting bacon grease in the coffee? Was it Peter?
Peter said it several
Who
times. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
put bacon grease in my coffee before.
And does it taste good? Does it taste like bacon? Because
I don't think really. I think the coffee absorbs the flavor more than anything. But it does make it nice and creamy, and it adds the fat. So I mean, but it definitely was Peter that I got. No, you know who I originally got the idea from? Tuca
Oh, cool.
was the original person I got the idea from, but Peter does it too. So I don't know if Peter got the idea from Tuca too, or if Peter just does it as well. That type of thing. I'm
It's
not really sure.
definitely for the coffee, it definitely I don't think coffee alone would raise my blood sugar. I definitely think it was the amount of coffee I was drinking, Ellen.
Right.
I
Yeah,
was I
but
was
I try to drink
and
no more than 2 cups a day. You know.
people are able to, like, have a cup of coffee and, like, sip it, right, for, like, hours. Like, I
Yeah.
literally am, like, guzzling my first cup of coffee down. Like, it was like, I don't have to worry I don't have to get a cup warmer like Mitch has, because there's no chance it's gonna get cold as
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
I don't
downing
have
it,
that problem either. I can
you
let it
know?
cool down and drink it cold, or I can drink
Yeah.
it. When I say cold, I mean like room temperature cold. It does not bother me any. I mean, probably one of the reasons why I like carnivore because I can do the same thing with the meats. I don't have to like.
Yeah.
I've
And
had,
Alan, I
many times I've
really
had burger patties. I cook them and then I don't eat them for like another hour, and so
Yeah.
they get cold, and
Yeah.
I mean, if it's
I
more than a
like
couple hours, I definitely put it in the refrigerator
like
and
I
do it.
I'll drink iced coffee because it's I'm drinking iced coffee, but if I'm brewing hot coffee, I don't like to drink it. I don't like it to get cold.
I'm fine with it.
But
I
yeah, but
think
Ellen,
you know what I think it is. I think the
yeah.
job I used to have when I used to work the tuxedos at most of my jobs, and you
Mhm.
do like prom season, you're pretty much, even when you take a break, like you take a break, and then you have like 50 kids that want to try on their tuxedos. So
Yep.
you like I used to would go to Wendy's upstairs, and I'd get fries and the burger or whatever, and by the time I could eat my food, it was already cold. So it was either
Yeah.
like take the time, microwave it, do this, and then find out you can't eat. So I would just scarf it down. So I just got so used to it that
Yeah.
it just doesn't bother me any. I hate cold fries, and I hate microwave fries even worse. And right now I don't even eat fries. That's why I was shocked when I saw Dr. Kiltz does the fries in the duck fat. Because I'm like, wait, fries? That's the one thing I
Yeah.
was trying to avoid.
Well, and it's funny because he always says though that whenever he eats the French fries that he makes, he always puts lots of fat on them. So he does
Yeah.
the duck fat, and then he says he dips it in sour cream, so that helps a little bit. Yeah. And honestly, Amy, like
Well,
I see what you're saying about the heavy whipping cream. That's probably why I lost 15 pounds in July because I stopped drinking heavy whipping cream.
yeah,
It's a lot of
yeah, that's
calories.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ellen,
I mean, a
I
lot of
think
things are going on
your
in the chats now. You're
little
actually probably
rise.
following along the chats better than I am.
I'm trying. Ellen said that she had a slight blood sugar rise when she would drink a cup of coffee, and I think maybe it probably more was the dairy than it was the coffee itself.
Well, my blood sugar went up a little bit today. It's actually going up now, so I probably will have to take insulin
What are you
after
at?
this. I'm at
Oh
143.
wow.
But this morning, when I was working, it went down to 65. Yeah, my sugars were lower this morning, but so I didn't take any insulin. This would be my first time since last night, basically. So, um, but since it is rising, it's probably like I said, I just had the London broil, just had, so it's probably like the
Mhm.
digestion and everything is probably, and
Well,
I did have the butter
I
coffee.
found I noticed it last night when I had my London broil. It's funny we both had London broil. Um, my blood sugar was higher overnight. It was in the 90s, and and I, I think it's because of the protein. London broil is very lean
Yeah,
and has does not have a lot of fat. So my body was dealing with a lot more protein than it was if I have something that's a more fatty cut. So I
I
think
agree.
I need, and I think you need also, we need to eat more fat.
Yeah, I you don't hear me arguing with you because I totally agree.
Yeah.
Um,
But the London broil was
I
cheap. I bought it.
Yeah, I mean, my next when I have the other half. I mean, I cooked it pretty much the way I like it. I cooked it black and blue.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where it ended. So now when I go and put it in the oven again, it didn't fit in the air fryer before, but now it's half of it. So now it'll fit in the air fryer. So probably what I'll do is I'll probably put some bison
Oh, that's
tallow
good.
with it and put it in for
Okay.
like about 5-10 minutes, just enough to soak the bison tallow in, and I'll do it with another stick of butter. And that'll give me the fat that I need. But no, I totally agree with you. I just
And I will tell Amy and Bill, who's thinking about quitting coffee, I I'm always a hot coffee person, even in the summer when it's hot outside. And on June 1st, when I started Lion Diet, I started drinking my coffee cup full, my tumbler that I use, full of hot water with either my unflavored electrolytes in it or just salt in it. And having that hot water in the morning replaced just having that hot drink, that ritual, that comfort. Um, and now I don't even have the hot water anymore. Now I'm just drinking my Stanley, my 30-ounce Stanley, I drink that, and first thing in the morning, I have to drink a whole 30 ounces of water. I feel great with. I put my iodine in it. I put my electrolytes in it, and it tastes like shit, but I've gotten used to the taste, and I feel great in the morning when I do that. And sometimes I'll go for a walk, 2 miles, 2.5 mile walk, and finish my whole 30-ounce water. Today I rode my bike, so I didn't drink during the ride, but I drank it when I got back. Yeah, broth is good too, but I kind of didn't want to have any calories or anything like that in the morning. But I did make some bone broth recently too, I have in the fridge.
Right. Right. Wow. Okay. So, boy,
Anything else you
I
see in the chat?
what was
Papa
that?
Carnivores, a coffee. And do you see anything else in the chat that's good?
I mean, like I said, it goes pretty fast, but not really anything that's just people talking about the coffee mostly, and like a couple of people saying they really don't understand the concept of decaf. I guess like how it is any different than regular coffee. Um, you know what it is with this? If you saw my end, you would understand. Like
Oh,
I'm only on the
Carrie,
stream,
Carrie's in the chat.
and who is?
Home said how?
Oh, hey
Carrie.
Carrie, how you doing? Um,
He said that we're the best, and he said have a great day. I guess he did a drive-by.
oh shit. Okay. And you saw who was in earlier, right?
I did. I was watching when that would happen. That was cool.
Yeah. So I need to find his email so I can email him an invitation because it does seem to be helping.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
good. You have to
there he
ask,
is.
and no one's gonna say no to you.
Well, if they do, I mean, I do have one person that said no, but he has a reason, if that makes any sense.
So
Because right now he's
yeah,
in the middle of writing. He's right in the middle of putting out a book, and his publisher recommends that he just doesn't do any interviews right now. So I totally understand that.
that's
Um,
fine. Okay.
but that doesn't mean he never will. It just means right now he can't. So I definitely understand. But hey,
So
hey Carrie, how you
Amy
doing?
is meant. Amy's mentioning about 2 minutes ago. She mentioned yerba mate tea. So yerba mate is it's like a tea. It's a herb that you put with hot water, and um it's supposed to boost your natural GLP-1. Um, I know Ben Bickman talks about it. I think he also sells a brand. It's convenient. And I bought it and tried it when Anita, ketogenic woman, started talking about it. Anita is one of my favorite people. I watch her every week. Um, and yeah, I liked it. It tasted good. I put sweetener in it, so there you go. It's gotta be sweet. Um, I don't really know if it helped me with my cravings or anything, but it was okay. And I stopped using it, obviously. I know. I really wish I can go to Mondello Theater. Come on, Tom. We gotta win the lotto.
That would be the major lotto. You know.
Major. We need to win millions, and then we'll go to all the meetups. Okay, me and you.
Oh God, like I worry about like the working over hours and stuff like that. I'd be like, if I won that much money, I could do the meetups. I'd just be like, fuck it. Excuse my language.
Well, no, I would keep my job because I like having health insurance.
Well,
Um,
that's true.
but I would,
But you
I
see,
would,
I
but
have my
I
health
would care.
insurance because
I
of
would
the
care less.
disability. So
Right. So you
the,
have to be
the job
well. So
actually
you
is
might.
problematic for me. It's like if I work too
Correct.
many hours,
Correct.
I lose all that. So think about it. It's I'm taking more of a risk by having a job than I am by not having a job. So yeah, I could totally understand. So I just saw a thing
Oh
where
boy.
Carrie says that he is going to be on Rick's Live tomorrow. at around 10 a.m. So I don't know how true that is. I mean, that's seeing it on here, and it kind of like went through already. So,
Yeah, I'll be watching tomorrow. I'll have my my metaphorical popcorn ready to go. Obviously, I won't not any popcorn.
you
Duck
just
food.
do just do the motions, you know.
I have them. There's a meme for that. I use the meme.
So, yeah,
Amy,
I
have you ever used GLP-1 before? I have, and Tom has too. It's really Kerry. It was really Kerry because he said that me and
oh
Thomas were the
oh,
best.
here
So
here's his
that's
last
why I know
message.
it's him because we're the best.
Yeah, I mean, he says, Rick, you can hear me, okay? So, Rick, we talked via email about 3 weeks ago and agreed on chatting at 10 a.m. Central. You told me to just call your phone number, so that's what I am looking forward to. So, Rick, he is going to call you. All right.
What,
So,
on the hotline on
yeah,
Rick's live hotline?
I'm sure that's the phone that he's talking
Yeah.
about. And
Oh, good.
you know,
I'm so listen. Look at this. Rick didn't know that it was confirmed. Your live has brought them together. Look at you, Thomas.
it
Okay.
says, Thomas, for the video you did about Alex and your condolences. It was a
That was a good
pleasure.
video.
Thank you. So,
Alex lived in.
sometimes, unfortunately, the ones that come like at the last moment
Mhm.
seem to be the better of, like,
The
we
ones that,
planned
yeah,
them, you know,
yeah,
and
because they come from the
unfortunately,
heart. They
yeah,
come right from your heart.
yeah,
Alex lived in Liverpool, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Was he
I
the
mean,
one?
Carrie would know more about that, but I know he lives somewhere in England.
Remember when my cruise canceled Iceland and they added Liverpool? And
Right.
everyone was like, "Oh, you should message Alex and meet up with him. You're going to Liverpool."
Oh,
Obviously
okay.
I didn't message him because I was only there for 8 hours and I had to do all the Beatles stuff.
Right.
Um,
And
but that,
did you
that's
even know Alex like in that way? Like that?
no, never. And it would have been random. It would have been real
Because
random.
that'd be kind of weird. Like, hey, you know what? We're both
Hey, Amy,
carnivore.
yeah,
Yeah,
come hang out with
why you
me.
come over? We'll have a couple steaks together. I mean, he
Yeah.
might have been up for it. Who knows? But it's just um.
I know. Can you believe the week did go by fast, Ellen? I agree. Tomorrow's already Saturday.
So, oh, Bill, I don't see comments from Carrie. You know what, Bill? They're probably just going so fast that I. I mean, you see the comments, right, Lewis?
I do. Yes. I
Okay.
see them in the streaming software.
Okay. Do you see him on YouTube?
Let's see. Yes, Liverpool, yes. Terry said Liverpool, yes, yes. I was in Liverpool. Liverpool's a great place to visit. I loved Liverpool.
Mm,
I'm young, but my father is like the biggest Beatles fan. So I grew up with all Beatles music. I know all their music, and my mom obviously was a big Beatles fan. Is a big Beatles fan also. So I was traveling with my mom. So we did all the Beatles stuff. We went on tours, and we went to Strawberry Fields, and we went to uh, you know, so many different landmarks. It was a lot of fun.
Now that's the way the logo is supposed to be for Homestead How. In case anybody's wondering, that's the real logo.
Yep.
Okay.
What is there a fake logo?
Yeah, that other guy, that fake one.
Oh, fake Harry?
Yeah, that's actually how it's supposed to be. Now if I this I'm looking at it from StreamYard, so I can't click it and go right to YouTube. But if I was on YouTube and I saw it, then from my thing I should be able to then go, and actually you could be able to,
Check the
anybody,
channel.
and
Yeah,
it
anyone
would
check
click
the
me right
channel.
to the channel, right? And
Amy, I have to
it's
see a
right.
picture of you before you lost your 110 pounds. That's amazing. Oh, Carrie, I know it's you.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Carrie. We know when it's you. We've met you, so we know. Here, um, we put that on the thing.
I love the fact that it's a fake Carrie. I think that's great. I think imitation is the biggest compliment, right?
Yeah, Carrie, we know it's you. You know, at least I
Yeah.
do. At least Lewis does. I can't speak for everybody, but you see. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not against fake Carrie. He seems like an okay guy from what I'm gathering. But the thing is, I think he caused a lot of issues when it came to having the name up there. And
Now, Papa Carnivore is mentioning when fake Papa Carnivore came into Mitch's stream that time.
I remember that.
What is fake Carrie and fake Papa Carnivore the same person? No,
It's possible.
that's kind of what he's implying there.
Anything is possible. I mean, this guy, you know, I mean, the one that did the fake Papa Carnivore. This is what I remember, and um,
Mm.
Carrie makes a good point. Not only did he use his name, but he also used his logo too.
Well, and that's what's confusing too.
Right.
That's very misleading. Yeah.
When I looked at Papa Carnivore, in the beginning, when I looked at fake Papa Carnivore, there was a lot of things that were just off, but it was not like it was like kind of like there was no emblem for his ranking on Mitch's, like in Mitch's membership.
Oh, right.
There
Yeah, he
was,
was a member. Right.
And there was just all these things. Now, if I remember correctly, it wasn't Mitch that caught him; it was Ellen that caught it. And she's the one, since she was Mitch's moderator, she's the one who actually kicked the fake Papa Carnivore off. You
Yeah.
know, but he was saying a lot of things. Like I think he obviously knew things because he was taking advantage of Papa and Mitch having like a little bit of a tiff. And like, oh, Mitch doesn't like me anymore. Mitch doesn't want me here anymore.
Right.
Like it was just like this groveling, and it was just like, okay, this is, I don't know, this just doesn't sound right. And that's how I found out. But I found out through like Ellen's like, okay, this guy's
I
crap. And
like Amy's attitude. You know you've made it when someone
yeah,
impersonates you.
yeah. Here comes
Hey,
Rick.
Rick.
Hey, Ricky.
Oh, this
How
is
you
this is a
doing?
new camera. This is a new angle.
My living room. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you
loud and
fine.
clear.
All right,
I
it
like it.
works.
And what's behind you? A wall of printers?
This is my old printer. Yeah, this is my little office, sort of my home office. There's my window.
I love it. I love it.
I wanted
Very
to
nice.
change things because I figured that this is going to be my 18-year anniversary on YouTube, and I figured, all right, let me just
Is that this weekend? Is that tomorrow's live stream?
tomorrow. It's tomorrow. If you look at the description, you'll see I started on July 12th. That's when I
Let's see
started.
it. Oh wow. Let's go to
Now I don't know if I can be there for the whole 12 hours. So
Oh. If you come into my live stream for 5 minutes, it's worth it.
I
That's
know.
what I tell
know.
everybody. But I'm surprised, I'm still in doubt. I guess this is the real Carrie. Normally when
It
people
is the real Carrie.
when people want to contact you, they'll call you on the phone first, or they'll send you another confirmation. But I'm like, okay, are they playing a game or is it for real? I guess it's for real. We'll see.
Well,
I
maybe
mean,
the reply maybe it was missed. I don't know.
It could
Yeah.
be, because I know that I had sent him an email after we had the whole fake Carrie thing, and he didn't get it. And I know that he didn't get it because he said the last time that I sent him an email was the time that Dr. Baker was coming in town. So then I figured, okay, I got the real Carrie because only he would know that. But
Yeah.
it just seemed like it would have been easy for him to just pick up the phone and call,
I heard it. I heard the dial tone.
You heard the dial tone. So that's working
It sounded
too.
good. July 12th, 2007. I see it, Rick.
See, I told you.
Very, very cool.
It's
Very,
hard
very
to
cool.
believe. I've been on YouTube all this time and I've made zero money, zero. And I've never asked for money. I've never been on here begging for money. Although I've had a couple of really nice people send me meat, but it's not. I just wanted to meet people. That's all I wanted to do. And you know why? Do you know the reason why I started on YouTube?
No.
No.
No idea. It was because of those free energy scams. The run your car on water. I had a friend of mine that got put in the hospital because he bought one of those goofy plans to run your car on water, and he ended up blowing up in his face and putting him in the hospital. So it made me angry. I thought, I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to knock out those scammers. But I got my videos deleted. It's a long story. I'll talk about it tomorrow, though.
They want to
Yeah,
know
that,
if
I mean,
you're
definitely
the
tell the
real Rick.
origin of your YouTube. Definitely, the whole reason of it being there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would tell you now, but I don't want to take over your live stream because I'm a big
Don't worry
talker.
about it.
I'm a
Yeah,
big.
I'm gonna drop off. I have to make a call for work real quick.
Okay.
But I'll be listening, and Rick, I'll see you tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
All
Look
right, cool.
forward
Have a
to
good
it.
day, guys. Thomas, see you later.
Yep.
I'll see you. So that's pretty cool that he's actually going to be calling in and talking to you. So that's, I mean, that should make you feel pretty good.
Well, yeah, I
Right?
mean, obviously, it's not a joke. I guess it's for real. But see, I'm a very skeptical person. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about me. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust people until they have been proven to me because
Right.
I get let down all the time. I have no luck. That's why I don't even bother to enter contests because I never win anything. If there's luck, I always get the worst of it. Anytime that I win, it's because I put a lot of effort into it and I knew the right people. But if it's up to chance, I always fail. That's just the way it is.
Well, I wish you both the best, and you know, in getting this situation solved and everything like that. So
Well, I mean, there really is no problem. I don't have a problem. I think Kerry's a great guy. I've talked really nice things
oh
about
yeah,
him.
no, I know you do, but still, I mean, it's just like this, like
This is an example of delegation
it's a
failing.
soap opera, so to speak. It's
It's
whatever it
it's
is.
a whole lot of nothing. It's just a failed delegation. You get popular, you got all these people surrounding you, you're distracted, and then you don't realize that, you stepped on something in the way or you fell into a hole until it's too late. But it's never too late with me because I'm not upset. In fact, I enjoy the additional attention. Maybe it'll get more people into the cause. So you like my new setting?
I do. I mean, I like the other one too, but I like this. It's
Mm-hmm.
very masterpiece theater of you.
Well, it's funny you
I'm
mentioned
ready.
that.
I'm ready for you to be like, okay, the next movie.
You know what? You are really intuitive because that's exactly what I was trying to get. I was trying to be like Alistair Cook with Masterpiece Theater. Da da dun dun
Right.
dun dun da da with the camera going around. It goes over to the duck, it goes to all these things.
Oh, that's pretty
That's a
cool.
duck candle a friend of mine gave me.
Yeah, I wouldn't burn it, because I would ruin it.
Oh no, that's why it's been there for 20 years. One of those gifts. I have all kinds of things here. My house is like a museum, as you probably know.
So, Beef, the 707, says he feels like a failure. Why do you feel like a failure? You tried something and it worked for a little bit, but it just didn't, you know.
Hmm.
I mean,
Interesting.
I think you're better off being Beefy 707. I like the name Beefy 707. I mean, to me, it's very carnivore. I mean, I like the names that are connected to carnivore. It's um, uh, so Ellen. That's Ellen telling. Oh, I didn't realize Rick left. Okay, but you look away and then you look over, and they're. Um, you didn't have to go, Rick. So it looks like Ellen's asking Gary if he's going to be on my show. Yeah, it's planned for him to be on there in August on here. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am. Um, Gary says he heard the same thing. Haha. That's funny. I don't know what happened.
That was me. I was trying to
Oh,
look at a
okay.
comment. I clicked something and it went boop. It disappeared.
Yeah, you just like disappeared suddenly. It wasn't even like you like clicked a tab or something like that.
That's what happened. I clicked it and it went poof and it was gone.
Okay, so here's Carrie answering a thing with Gemmet. Gemmet, yes, several people were confused. If an impersonator came on my channel impersonating Nick or Dante Ferrigno, I would shut it down and not entertain it, especially if it was mean spirited. So yeah. Um,
Well, the gentlemanly thing to do, if you have a problem with something, you call me. You don't play games. You don't go behind my back. You don't try to hide it. You go out there
right,
and
for you personally, yeah. I think what he's talking about though is the person trying to imitate. Yeah.
well,
Well,
that's
I
true.
think what he's talking about is the imitation. Yeah.
But if
Um,
if you tell me that you're not comfortable with that, I will confront the person for you if you can't do it yourself. But if you don't tell
yeah.
me what's going on, I'm not going to guess. I'm not a mind reader, and I'm not going to go there and play the political game. It's either yes or no. You tell me what you want. And I'll tell you yes or no. That's the way I am.
No Slow goes, Ellen, I actually never Thomas's live stream. I'm still trapped back there backstage.
You know,
And Beefy's asking if the meeting is happening tomorrow. Yes, it is
it
happening
looks like
tomorrow.
it is. It looks like the real Carrie has confirmed it.
Yeah.
I will add that to the description of my live, so that way everybody knows it's going to be 11 o'clock Eastern time because he said 10 o'clock Central time.
Yeah.
So
And is that what you guys? Is that what the email mentioned for him to come on at 10 o'clock Central?
that is
Or?
that is what the email mentioned. I posted the email on my posts, as you probably know. I always put everything I get if it's something for the public, so I let them know what to expect. But I didn't get a confirmation, and I know that he's really busy with all of his carnivore clubs. So for him to make time is kind of a miracle because I know it's more important to be with the real prominent carnivores, not the quacks, because the quacks I think sometimes are a little quacked. And if you
Yeah.
spend too much time around the quack, your popularity may go down.
That's a good warning.
That is what this is the whole thing. The carnivore lifestyle will never be mainstream. This is a lifestyle for people that are on the fringe like me. Those are the ones that stay with it because we don't worry about heart attacks. We don't worry about being popular. We don't worry about trying to fit in. We do what makes us feel good and we try to help others where we can. That's the whole idea. That's a carnivore diet concentrated, It's not one of those things. You're not going to go there in some fancy restaurant with a knife and fork. You see how I eat? I just eat meat off the bone. In fact, I need to finish my lunch. I may do that here. I just don't want to get it on the microphone. Oh, and that's another thing. I thought it was funny that Kerry put my microphone picture in his live, so he must like me at least a little bit.
Yeah. Well, people do like you, Rick.
Well, I know you do because I like you too. I think you're awesome.
Thank
You
you. I
know,
appreciate that. I
you
appreciate
know,
that.
I'm always complimenting. I'm always telling you
Yes,
that,
you are, and I appreciate that too.
and
I
I've been
really
right, haven't I?
do. Yes, yes, you have been. I don't know if things are gonna, like I don't, like it's like. Have you ever heard of the term the Peterson effect?
Yes, I have.
So I don't know if there's going to be a point where the Peterson effect hits. So like every time it keeps on moving forward even more, I get pretty, it's like, okay,
But that's okay. You know,
You
you do
know,
the best you can.
Kerry just said on the thing that he is going to try to get it sorted out, and that's why he's calling tomorrow on your channel, to just to do that back to Carnivore Zen. You know, so that's a good thing. You know, I mean that you both are willing to talk about whatever it is that needs answers. You know,
Well,
and
that's why you know what my nickname for Carrie is, or maybe you don't remember.
Carnivore Ambassador.
Yes, that's what I've called him for a long time. So, you know,
And that's, I mean, Carrie, if you're listening still, we got to admit, you are the Carnivore Ambassador. You've brought a lot of people together and you've handled a lot of things, you know. And
that's right.
so Rick's not wrong about that analogy, you know. And I would look at it as a compliment, not really an insult, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
see, my problem is that I'm a realist. I don't believe in positive thinking. I think positive thinking is a bunch of woo-woo nonsense. Realism, reality, and understanding the good and the bad, the balance in between. That's where you get the real Zen. If you go around, I'm going to make a video one of these days. I'm going to go to the railroad tracks. I'm going to put a picnic cloth on there and sit on the railroad track eating a piece of meat. And I'm going to say, I'm having positive thinking that I will not get run over by the train. But the thing is that no matter how much positive thinking I have, when that time comes and that train load of rock comes down that track, I'm done. You know, you need to understand there are things that can happen that are good. But it's like you don't want to be the opposite. You don't want to be totally negative thinking or pessimist, because then you'll never leave the house. You go, well, I can't bike ride to the store because I may.
you're always going to be worried about.
Right, the middle. You have like left and right. It's got to be in the middle somewhere. You may drift a little bit to the pessimist, a little bit to the
Right.
optimist.
You may sway. Yes, yeah, I
But
agree
as
with
long
that.
as long as you stay between these limits, I think you're doing really well. And that's the way I've lived my life. And sure, I'm poor, but a lot of it is just because I had to take care of my parents. My parents were very health conscious, and look at what happened to them. And I'm afraid the same thing's going to happen with the carnivore diet. People are going to put their faith in the carnivore diet alone, and they're going to people are going to die. People are going to have heart attacks. People are going to have problems, and then they're going to say, "Oh, it was a carnivore diet that did that." And they're never going to think, "Well, what about the rest of their life? Were they stressed?
Yeah.
Did they live in a dangerous area?" There's all these things that can happen. It's a lifestyle. It all goes together. And I think in many ways, finding the balance, you got to find the right balance. And you can't just group yourself with one type of person. That's when things don't work. That's why the world we live in is a mess. The government's, everything's a mess because these people group together. You have to widen out, you have to include a wider variety of people. It's like you, Thomas. I'm sure that many people were trying to give you advice that wasn't any good. And you probably felt terrible. Well, I'm doing what they tell me and I'm failing. But that's because you weren't, thinking, hey, wait a minute. Maybe their motives are not pure. Maybe I need to think for myself. And that's what you did. And now you're improving. And that's why you're an inspiration to me.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know if a lot of these people that give me bad advice, if it's their motives, like I don't know if I think they're just miseducated themselves and they just don't have um, that ability to break the knowledge. You know, it's you know what I look at it like. Do you ever like put yourself in a dark room, okay, and you can't find the door, right? You're just in the dark room and there's a door there, but you can't find it. Like it's dark in the other room. Now all of a sudden, some sunlight comes into the other room, and you see the light coming under the door. That's what I think. Most of us, that's what's happened to us. We saw the light coming under the door, and some of us chose to open up that door and see what's on the other side. Many people are still though afraid to, like they're like, oh, I don't want to go to that light. What's going to happen? And so, I mean, it's like Carrie has said several times, you don't, you don't know you're in the fog until you're out of the fog. And I think that's absolutely true. You don't know you're in the dark until you're out of the dark. And
It's
um,
the same thing like when you're in a hurricane, like Hurricane Andrew or Wilma or Katrina or any of these hurricanes. You know it's coming. and then it starts to get cloudy and it starts to rain, but it's just like a thunderstorm at first. Then the wind gets wilder and wilder, and pretty soon the power goes out. You see stuff falling down, stuff falls through the roof of the house. You have water pouring in, windows breaking, and all the other great things that are happening. And at that moment, it's like, when is this ever going to end? And it goes on and on and on and on. And then when it doesn't just end all at once, it slows down, then it speeds up, then it slows down. You're trying to catch all the water that's coming in from the roof. You're trying to cover up the window that broke, keep the door from blowing in. And then finally, when the worst of it is over, it's still blowing at you. You still get wind gusts, you still get rain bands, and it's a long time before it finally goes away. And I think it's the same way when you're unhealthy. You may get improvements, but then here comes another storm band, and then bam, it hits you again. And then you just have to keep fighting it. But I think, like you said, once you realize, okay, sun's coming out, things are calming down, then the success is just so much more evident. But when you're in that storm, it is not fun.
Well, it's sort of a little bit like with me working. Like right now I'm talking disability, and I work. I try my best to work no more than 16 hours to keep my disability because I don't feel. And now it could be argued, even by me, okay, that a lot of it could be mental. That I could probably handle the more hours, but I just don't feel it yet. And right now I'm just staying where I'm at. But a lot of it could be psychosomatic, and I admit that if I pushed myself, maybe I could work a 40-hour week, and do the running around and handle all this stuff. But it's just, yeah, I mean, you just do what you can do and, go from there, you know. And I know I just acted like a very old person because I just like went off and I did not know what connection I had to anything, but I still had to say it. So, um, so if that means that you're getting old, then I guess I'm getting old. Yeah.
Well, I think
Just
a lot of
just because
well,
I'm 52 doesn't mean I don't have old people tendencies.
Well, when people use the term old, that usually is a sort of a degrading concept. I got an old car. But on the other hand, they might say, I have a classic car. Well, they both mean basically the same thing. They're both old in
Right.
terms of age. But if you say, I have a classic car, I drive a 1969 Dodge Charger with a 440 and it's restored. Or it could be like me. I drive a 1969 Charger with no floor, rusted out, falling apart, but I still call it an antique car, even though it's an old car and it's falling apart. Because once I have the facilities to do it, I'm going to weld in new metal, get it going again. And, you know, it's just, it's like it may be old and it has limitations. You may have 200, 300,000 miles. It burns a little oil, whatever, but it's got that old character. And I think this is the thing we're missing with us. They tell people, well, you're old, you're worn out, you throw it away. It's like everything else, people throw their phone away. How many people still have a rotary phone? I mean, nobody. So I think in terms of our health, yes, we're not going to be the same as when we were 25, when we're 55. But look at me, I'm 57. I got the same energy. I don't even look that much different from when I was 25. And I feel great. And I've been like this my whole life. No aches and pains, no chronic health issues. Yeah, I'm a quack. Of course, I'm a total quack. But still, I think I've done reasonably well. Even though I'm skinny, I don't have the big muscles that some of these people have. But I got enough strength to do what I need to do. My brain works fine. I was just, counseling a friend of mine that's got problems on what to do. When people have problems, who do they call? They call Rick, because Rick is a guy that can logically think his way through it and doesn't let emotions control his mind. And I think carnivore lifestyle is a big part of that. Once you get past the fear of dying from a heart attack, I think everything else is just trivial.
Um, so Ellen, she goes, TPR. It is understandable. You might want to have a safety net if you are unsure. Perhaps you are just being practical. I agree with that. I agree with having a safety net because what people don't know or even realize, maybe I never mentioned it, but before I actually got my disability, I actually would go to work and I would try to work as long as I can, and then all of a sudden I'd have to go into the hospital, and I'd get out of work, and then for like weeks I'd be out of work, and it just kept on going back and forth until I couldn't work anymore at all. And there's probably a little bit of a fear that if I start working full time again and I get rid of my benefits, I'm going to be out of work again, and I'm going to have to fight for the benefits. I'm going to have to go through all that, all that trouble that I was in, like that I went through. And I just don't want to do that. So I'd rather make sure that if I get rid of my benefits, it's going to stay. It's going to click. And so, I do agree with Ellen on that analogy or that concept, because it's not easy to do, and Aaron Ellen's been here. Aaron just joined. So, hey, Aaron, how you doing? Thank you again for doing the live with me yesterday. I appreciate it. I think a lot of people thought you were great. I don't know who the other guy was, but he was kind of an idiot. But, that was fine. Yeah.
I enjoy those, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying. I mean, they get adjust. I mean, everybody's different. Like even Aaron, like I'm trying to do them on Tuesday. Like I was doing them on Wednesdays, and then I start doing the coaching class, and coaching class is every Wednesday. So that's the reason why that's changed for me. So I'm trying to do them on Tuesdays if possible, but we're kind of in the middle of the week at around like 2 o'clock, But sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes the time's not good. Sometimes the day's not good. So I kind of like revolve it around, and I know you and me need to set a day and time. So we will do
Yes.
that.
Well, what I'm
Um,
going to do, I'm going to let you do the more important people first. And
yeah,
then once you get more familiar and you have the time, then we'll schedule a day. You have me whenever you want me because I've already
right,
done, one kind of interview. So
right.
we'll
Like
let
the half interview that you shared with Aaron. Yes.
right. We'll let everybody get the chance. And then when things slow down and you need a quality interview that people can watch, and you can call me up because for the last almost 3 years I've been interviewed by some of the best channels.
Yeah.
And although there are a few channels that have never interviewed me one to one, but I guess they don't recognize quality carnivores when they see them. So, but you do. And, there's some really, I mean, think about Dave Mack. Dave Mack started his interviews by asking me for an interview. So that goes to show a lot about, the qualities that I have and the qualities that he has. And he is the definitive carnivore interviewer out of all of them. I think Dave Mack is number one because he's interviewed more people and he's also really good at what he does. He knows how to ask the questions and keep people comfortable. And that's a really good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's many reasons why people may not want to be interviewed. Um, and part of it is be interviewed by me. And I'm not trying to insult myself. I'm just saying it is what it is. I think one reason is okay, and I'll say why I disagree with it, or if I do agree with it. I think one reason is that a person just doesn't feel like they're important enough. Like my story's not that great, and why should I tell it? Now, I didn't think my story was that great, but I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to express and get it off my chest. It was more for therapy than anything. Um, but I don't agree with the concept of you being important enough because something brought you here. Something that was important to you brought you here, and you have a better story probably than you might even imagine. Okay. So I don't really agree with that concept that you are not important enough to tell your story. Okay. Another reason too, and I'm going to make this point, okay, and I'm sure you will relate to what I'm saying, Rick. It might be, oh well, they might be thinking on the concept of how big my channel is. Like I'm not that big I don't have that many subscribers. I'm not that huge of a channel. So how many people are going to really see my story? Well, first off, if say Carrie sees my story, okay, and he views it and everything like that. Well, like you watch Carrie now, all people that watch Carrie all the time, which is going to be a lot more than my channel, it's going to trickle down. It's like this big blossom of like this big explosion that happens. So more people are going to see you than you probably even imagine. Okay. And the thing is let's keep in mind something. All right. Rick was Dave Mack's first interview. Now, I don't have to be there to guess that was Dave Mack probably was not that popular then. He was probably brand new. He was out of the woodwork, and now look at him. Now he's like the go-to for everything. Now I'm not saying that's going to happen to me, but you really shouldn't look at how big a person's channel is, because if Rick did that, then nobody would be anywhere. You know? So I still say, if you guys want to tell your story, email me, at tpruitt40@gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to schedule an appointment with you, and everything. And I'll put in the chat my email address. So don't worry. But you would, I don't really have to, because it is in my descriptions, for on my channel. It's just kind of cloaked, just like everybody else's. So you have to uncloak it and just tell them you're not a robot, you know. I mean, like I said, everybody has a big story, and I have so many people lined up, I have, I'm just going to name, Carrie is going to, I think we can all agree Carrie is a big deal to me. Okay.
Absolutely.
And everything. And Dave Mack is going to be coming on. I don't know if you heard that date. I don't know if you heard that, Rick, or not, but Dave Mack is coming on the 23rd of September.
Excellent.
And on my birthday, we have your partner in crime,
Whack.
Russ Mitchell.
All right. Yes. Gotta love Russ.
Yes.
I saw that.
He's going to be on the 20th. It's going to be my birthday party one, or my birthday one. And I still have to figure out who I want to have on for New Year's, or for my 1 year anniversary.
Well, there you go.
Pretty huge.
You can choose anyone you want. You see, the good thing about this community is there's a lot of people that you can be related to. You're not family, but you're friends, but you're a little bit more than friends, because you share some experiences. And that's what I like about it. When I first started on YouTube and I was exposing the energy scammers, I didn't have the community that I have now. And when one of the YouTubers got after me and YouTube deleted my channel and I went through that whole mess, there was nobody to stand up for me. But now I have 50, 60 people that come into my live.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot of people for a live. They take a little bit of their time just to watch me talk about a whole lot of nothing. And that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, one thing is a compliment to you. Russ said that you personally, you have a talent. You could actually talk with other people, and you have that ability to, know when to like sit back a little bit and let other people talk, and when to start conversating. You have that talent to do that. But you also have that talent, which I brought up to him, and he agreed with it. You also have that talent to be able to be by yourself and hold a show for the whole, So to me, that's pretty rare. That's pretty unique. Now, I don't know if it's because of carnivore or if it's just your personality or both, I'm going to say both. I think that's fair to say. I think the carnivore helps boost that in you. And I do. I think that Bill says some people say Russ can sing. Yeah, and I think Russ is one of them. So,
You're right. I mean, you have the insight as well. I think once you get your health problems more and more controlled, I think that the other talents that you have are going to come out more, because it's like I've told people, I wouldn't be able to think straight if I was constantly hurting or if I was anxious all the time. I didn't know what to do. And I think that being on the carnivore diet, especially now that I realize I'm not the only one, I still had this thought in my head that I could drop dead of a heart attack anytime. So I used to warn people when I'm working, if I'm working with equipment, you see it going out of control, you better do something because I've had my heart attack. But now I realize that my heart attack risk may not even be that high. I may have less of a risk of getting a heart attack than anybody else I know. And it's because of you and all the other people in the carnivore community. I had no idea that eating the way that I did could make a person better. I thought it was more like it was going to shorten your life. You're going to feel good for now, and then one day, bam. But I guess it's not that way. And the more experiences I see, I look at it. That's why I make so many comments. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. You got everything from cancer to heart disease to arthritis to anxiety. I mean, I didn't even know mental issues could be affected by the way you eat. I had no idea. So
Yeah.
this is news to me.
I mean, it's news to me too, but at the same time, I'm not totally shocked by it. If that makes any sense, I'm not like, like, oh my god, I never would have thought that. Um, you know, but life never shocks me anyway. I've kind of learned in life that, actually, let me put this question up here. Um, can Milton come in and say hi? You are in his chair. So I guess Juliet's telling you, get out of Milton's darn chair. You're in his chair.
Well, the thing is, Milton actually went to sleep on my bed. And once he goes on the bed, he won't go to the chair. The thing about Milton, he likes to go everywhere that I am. But at this time of day, I think the air conditioner is too cold for him, so he went to the bed. Because the air
Oh,
conditioner is right in front of me. And you'll notice I don't sniffle as much here because there's less mold in this part of the house. My
mhm.
bedroom is where most of the mold is. But
Well, that's
this
pretty
living room is
problematic.
it's a little better. So I'm not going to be sniffling away like I often am because there's less mold in here.
And if Milton's comfortable where he's at,
Oh, he's
yeah,
well, he'll come when you least expect it. He'll pounce on it and knock everything down. Probably knock me offline. He's good at that.
yeah,
You know,
Milton works hard. Let him have his rest. You know?
he's a funny little cat. I like him.
Yeah, he's cute.
He's cute.
I mean, my cat used to be the same way. He used to be just like, just goes on with life, just doesn't care. It's kind of funny. Like, um, I think I told you a story about how the roommate I had, because Midnight was, that was the name of my cat. Midnight was not my cat; it was somebody else's, and she was moving away and couldn't keep her cat, so she asked me. She's like, "Hey Tom, do you want Midnight?" And since Midnight got along with me the most, I was like, "Okay, fine." Well, the other roommate got jealous. He wanted Midnight. All right. Even though he never associated with him, never, just one of those things like where he just was jealous because she asked me and not him. It was like just this thing. So one day he takes Midnight's like young. Midnight's about like maybe 6 weeks at the time, maybe 8 weeks at the most. And opens the door and lets the cat out, you know, and the cat's gone. He Midnight doesn't know anything, and he's gone for about 3 months. So you pretty much get into this concept like, okay, he's probably not around. He probably got attacked or something like that, or got taken by somebody. And we looked for a while, but then it was like, okay, what's the point? No one can find him. One day, out of nowhere, he comes back to the door, and he has like scratches on his face and everything like that. But he's no worse for the wear. And I read somewhere, I don't know where, that once a cat becomes an outdoor cat, it's kind of cruel to make them, like to force them to be inside all the time. So every once in a while, I let my cat let Midnight out. And when I moved to Trenton, because at that time I was living in Trenton, but a different part of Trenton, and Midnight moved with me to Maple Shade and all that stuff too. But when we moved to Trenton, to my aunt's house, he used to go outside, go across the street, go down into the those gutters, like those like things that you see on the side of the road where you park in front of and stuff like that. And he used to go down there, and that's where he'd hide. And he would just go down there, and if I parked my car, he'd start meowing, and I'd be like, "Okay, man, like, come on, dinner time's coming up soon." But that was his hangout. That was he just wanted to get out of the house and just you know probably get away from my aunt's cat, which was like a total nightmare. Another black cat that had no idea. Like you pretty much just look at him the wrong way, and he like bite your face off. He was just so he's probably like, I don't want to be near this cat. This cat is crazy. Get me out of this house, you know. So that's what we did. And Rick's trying to balance his microphone. Did Milton break your microphone?
He was climbing on it. Now it doesn't want to stay.
Oh God. That's funny.
You can't win, I'll tell you.
I mean, it is a cool mic.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody uses this style of mic when they put like open mic or microphone. They always put a Shure 55S, but I've never seen anybody actually use one on a podcast or a video.
No. I mean, isn't it the same mic in the? You might not know, so maybe you're not the right person to ask. But there's a. Have you ever heard the show Two and a Half Men?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. My
Well,
mom watched that before. That's
in the beginning, in the beginning, like of the earlier ones, there's one where all three of them were singing. They're singing in front
that's
of
the
the
same
mic,
mic,
and I
I
think
believe.
that's sort of the mic that they were using. You know?
It's working now. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Shure 55. These are really, really common. You know, Elvis used to use it in some of his shows, so they call it the Elvis mic. I got this from a yard sale for like $10 when I was a kid. I think it was. It was broken, and I fixed it.
So when you bought it, did you know about that like did you know about it, or did it just look cool to you, or were you fascinated like, hey, like in the concept of fixing it?
We had one of these when I was in elementary school. We had what was called a cafetorium, which was a cafeteria and auditorium in one.
Yeah.
And this was the mic that they used. So when you'd go up there to do like, you know, sing or whatever, because we used to have a music class in there, we used this mic. And I remember seeing it. And then one day it was gone. They got another one. I thought, you know, and I remember what it looked like. And then sometime in junior high, I was at a yard sale and I saw one of them, and it was all kind of dirty and run down, but it kind of worked. And you know, $10 was a lot of money for me. That's what I would get paid to cut the grass. I thought, oh, I tried to make my own like imitation radio show with my old tape recorder, and I actually found the thing. It's over there now, a reel to reel. So I wanted to make my own radio show. So I thought, oh, I'll get one of these mics, and then I'll set it up and have a radio show. Well, I mean, it worked, but I didn't sound like I do now when I was a kid.
Oh
Kids are,
no, none of us do. Yeah. I
but it's like,
remember my mom's friend, um, she she did 8-track tapes, and she used to do recordings of 8-track tapes. And the sad thing is me and my sister actually recorded like us doing some kind of singing thing or something like that. Like I was 8, my sister was 6, you know. And yep. And the sad thing is even though she had the 8-track tapes, even when became adults, for some reason she lost that particular tape that had our recording on it. And me and Carrie both. I don't know how much desire Carrie had, but I really wanted to find that tape to show it to my niece and nephew, to show them, hey, there was a time when our voices were not the way they are now, you know. And
yeah, we used to get these tapes and record them. You can see this was what we recorded on this one. It was something they had in the 80s, hooked on classics.
right,
Usually there's a foam strip inside of here that goes bad, and then the tape won't play anymore. So you have to pop this open and you get some foam and make a new strip because they don't sell the part anymore. But I
right,
digitized a lot of my 8-tracks. I put them on WAV files. So I used Audacity. This was years ago. And I still do it to this day. And I joke with everybody I know. They have these streaming services for music. I'm like, why do you have that? Couldn't you just record everything, put it on a hard drive, and play it randomly? Because that's what I do.
right.
I don't like any of the music that's out there, so everything I have is old.
It makes sense, you know. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, nothing's really, everything's all streamed now and everything, or all digitized, or you know, um,
Well, I have a lot of old audio hardware. I have reel to reel, I have turntable, I have cassette, I have 8-track. I even have those little cart tapes that they used to use in the radio station for commercials and stuff like that. I like the old technology. To me, it seems silly. If something's working, why replace it? And I would much rather pick up one of these than deal with a cell phone. I mean, I have a cell phone, but I only use it for video. Around here somewhere. Yeah, see, you know, I've got the old iPhone, but I don't have cell phone service. So I don't want to be everywhere you go. You can be contacted. I don't like that. I like to be able to just get away, go out to the
yeah,
Everglades, go to the canal, and just be by myself.
right. I can see that. I mean, sort of brings you back to the old world a little bit. Yeah. I'll be right back. You just hold on. Sorry about that. It's actually getting very, very warm in here, and um, I told you how my air conditioning's working, but it's not working.
Oh, really?
It's not really doing. Yeah, I think I told you about that. I thought maybe it was the vents, but I don't think it's really that. I think I have great big bay windows in my living room. I mean, like I don't know if you see the window here, but it's like a double window in my. I'll see it behind me. See how it's two windows?
Look at how big mine is.
Yeah. Well, my whole every window is that way. The kitchen, the living room, and this one, and it brings in a lot. Yes, Bill, I have a Bill Knott shirt. I thought you saw that already. um, but it brings in a lot of heat. Like the sun shines in. So I got like those things to put onto the windows, those sun reflectors to kind of keep the sun from reflecting inside. So I'm going to put that on once I get it. I ordered it, and then I got new curtain rods that are a little bit stronger than what I have up there because my old roommate, every time she'd like bend the rod, and this I just want to get something that it's not gonna get bent, especially if my roommate or anything like that tries to open the curtain, it won't get like all bent out. Um, just doing things to be preventive, and I'm hoping that doing that to the windows, though, I'm hoping that will block a lot of the sun out, and maybe the air conditioning can work properly. But right now I have a fan, and unfortunately the fan was not blowing on me; it was kind of blowing away. But it's so hot and humid in right here that it's just I just need the fan on me. So
What kind of air conditioner do you have? Do you have central air? Do you have a window
central,
unit?
yeah, it's
Central.
central. Yeah, we're not really allowed to have window units in this apartment. They prefer not to have any, like, not even the window, like those window fans, like the regular fans, like
Mm-hmm.
they prefer everything to be unblocked and everything. Not that some people go against that rule, but
Yeah, because when it's hot, see, in my house, my air conditioner broke in 2020. I had no air conditioning for 2 years. And in a place that can be 95 degrees with 90% humidity, it's not fun. So I had many a sleepless night sweating all night. But then, thankfully, I was doing a job. A friend of mine gave me an air conditioner simply because it makes noise. And to fix it would need a motor. It was older. So the guy says, well, I'm going to install a new one anyway. You can have the old one. And I put it in there and it made a big difference. And then I got one for my room. But since I have a house, I use mini splits because I don't like having an air conditioner. My friend says, I'll put one in the window, but then you have to chop up your window and it's ugly. The roaches get in and the lizards get in. But this way, at least it stays cool. But that's a 36,000 BTU air conditioner. I can bring this room down so cold the windows totally
mm,
fog up. I can set this room at 68 degrees. That thing is really powerful.
yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, all I can do is just hope and pray that doing this will help. It shouldn't be that hard to put the window things up. I mean, if I do everything carefully and everything like that, and you know, just basically it just looks like all you do is just wet the one side, clean the window, wet the one side, put it onto your window, cut it. I probably will cut it bigger than the window, so then that way when I put it on and squeegee it, um, I just take the X-Acto knife, and just cut around it and make the perfect pane, and I think that'd be the best way to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I could be wrong, but it makes sense.
I used to have some panels here, but I got these Venetian blinds from the dump. My friend and I were taking a load of crap, and then somebody was throwing them out. I go, oh, because I wanted to buy one, but they were too expensive. I mean, they were messed up, and I fixed them, but still, it was a big difference. But my yard is all trees. If you look outside, it's like a jungle. And I think that's the only
Mhm.
reason why this house stays cool, even though it has no insulation, because the
Oh,
entire
because of
house,
the shade of the trees.
it's
Okay,
all
yeah.
shade.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, when I was like thinking I wanted to do the whole window. But I think what I'm gonna do is because
Milton.
the blinds don't come out. It's like I could probably figure out how to do it, but it's very, very difficult, very, very annoying.
No,
So,
Milton.
so I think I might just do the bottoms because they're pretty much open ended, and I can just go right to them, and just keep the blind halfway down. So.
Add Milton. Oh my goodness. What a crazy cat. All right. Back here. Oh, that silly cat trying to get my food. He's over there in the kitchen trying to eat my food. Can you believe that? Hmm. Like my mother used to say, I look like one of the Flintstones.
No, that's not.
Fred Flintstone. Hmm.
Yeah. I miss so much of the chats.
Hmm.
That's
If
the
you,
one thing I'm not good at, and I've admitted that. I have no one can deny that I deny it. Is I'm not very good at keeping up with the chats.
you will be. It comes with practice.
Yeah, either that or I finally had to break down and hire somebody to be a moderator. But
I'm sure a lot of people would volunteer for you. You don't have to hire anybody.
yeah. Well, yeah, I should correct that. To break down and ask somebody, hey, would you like to be a moderator? But I mean, the thing is I sort of have like things I look for in a moderator. That I would look for that maybe not everybody would. With the situation I had, um, a couple weeks ago, where, and I think I was like highly depressed. I think I just need, Papa would actually say I need more fat, and he probably would have been right, to a definite certain extent, how much
Mm-hmm.
percentage of that extent, I don't know, but certain extent. Um, but also, it just, so I think what I would want in a moderator is somebody that would help me honor that code, just be respectful for everybody around you, like it's not just, like it's not your show, it's still like the host show, and that's, but um but I do try to get like a free for all, in a way too. I do like the round table. I do like us discussing. It's just, you know how it is. So I would want somebody that's really good, that can tap on my shoulder, so to speak, and just, you know. But if they can put the chat, if they find the questions or anything like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
think about it, like Kiltz doesn't really do the questions. He's always like, like Ali or Dr. Nelson. Were there any questions in the chats? Because he can't all by himself look at those chats and catch them.
Well, you have to realize that all the doctors and most of the carnivore celebrities, they're doing it almost like not a game show, but it's different than our kind of live streams because this is more like we're having a barbecue. It's like what Russ Mitchell calls his the keto cookout. When you invite people over, some people are going to blab away, other people are going to be quiet, and then they might shut up and somebody else will talk. It's like a back and forth. So
Yeah.
you have to differentiate whether you want a formal show, if you want to be like a talk show where people talk and then the other person talks and it's question and answer, or like you said, the free for all where everybody talks. But there comes a point when somebody dominates the whole chat and then you have to shut it down. And, that's what I would do. I'd say, look, okay, you might have to mute somebody now and then when things get out of control. They may not
Yeah.
like it, but if they like you, they'll understand.
Yeah. I agree with that, and I think what makes it really bad is not really for me. It's not just the concept of them not liking it; it's the concept of me not liking it. Like the last thing I want to do is mute people. And and then have to explain to them, well, this is why I muted you. Um, and I'm hoping that won't happen. And I think everything is great now. Because I think people are aware, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think people are now aware of what I really want a lot more. So as long as you understand that, then I think things are fine, and everything.
Yeah. A lot of times people would get excited. My dad used to do this. When you talked about something and you had a trigger word, then he would have to speak and nothing would stop him from speaking. So if you're giving somebody advice, you're saying something, oh, you need to do this. And then it would go like that. And I used to argue a lot when I was a kid, but eventually I got to the point where I just said, you know what? Say whatever. And then when the time is right, I'll talk. But everybody's different. So you have to explain, like you said, what you expect from people. And then when they deviate from that, well, you have to use a little discipline. That's just
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. And Ellen says it is a lot to keep track of, Thomas, and it looks like you are getting very busy. So I have to admit, Ellen, what I don't understand with this statement is, and it looks like you're getting very busy. Are you saying like a person looks like they're busy when they do the chats, and like you always look like you're busy, or that I personally that you're talking to me and you're saying I look like I'm getting busy? So that's the only thing I. But either way, I get the concept, of what you're saying. So I mean, I guess the concept works both in many directions, so to speak. Um, but you do. It's like but what is really bad too? You're looking at this through YouTube, correct? Or
I'm looking at it through your EV-Mux. YouTube I have on the other screen, but I can't really see it.
okay, so you might know what I'm talking about then. Okay, so on your part of the screen, all I can see, like I have like all I can see, unless it's different for the actual outside viewer, um, all I see is like one and a half, like one and a half lines basically of the chat. That's all. It's not like 5 or 6 lines at a
That's what I
time.
see.
And when the next, like it only takes one or two people to get that chat out of there. And when I try to use the scroller, it pretty much it's like very sensitive. So like if I scroll up, I'm going like 15 things up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I saw something, I'm trying to like highlight it. So sometimes I just don't catch it on time to and that's why I'm always missing it. So it's not that sometimes I do see it, but by the time I actually put my finger to click it, it's already gone.
Right.
So
Yeah, what I use YouTube. I'm too poor for a streaming service. So I use a chat overlay that Google Chrome has. And then what I do, I highlight it. And even that, once the cache fills up, I lose the comments. So if I get a phone call and it lasts a long time, a lot of the comments may get skipped unless I save them.
yeah,
But I'm pretty good at going through it. I use 2 different displays. The way I have 2 monitors, one on the computer, then the other one. Like in this room, it's over there on the main TV. But in
Okay.
my bedroom, they're next to each other. I learned that actually, Mitch is the reason why I started doing lives. And I've also I'm not the same, but I've emulated a lot of things that he does. Introduction music, some of the little scenes in between. And like you said, the chat, pulling up the chat, trying to go through it. He tries to go through every one. Of course, he's got so many people on there, there's no way. So you have to choose between having your own subject or just going with what the chat tells you, or a little of both.
Okay. So Ellen said, "No, sorry, that wasn't clear. I meant your chat is getting busy, which is good. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you actually being here as well. And you don't have to apologize. You are one person that does not have to apologize. I have a lot of respect for you. So, um, not that anybody has to really apologize in life. It's just you're saying so."
Pork shoulder.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
It looks
What's it? Who is it that got that? That was Peter, Papa Carnivore. This is the bone out of the pork shoulder. I just basically
mm.
boil it and then eat it off the bone.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't like I actually made bone broth yesterday. I collected I had like steak, bone-in steaks, and so I collected about like 8 steaks that I ate from, collected all the bones from it, and it was quite a bit of bones. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
and I I put it in the water, you know, and I put it in my slow cooker and I put it in for about 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And let it slow cook, let it brew and everything like that. And it didn't come out good. It came out like wax for some reason. It
Well,
was weird.
you overdid it. What happened was the fat rendered out. It got too concentrated. You need to keep
Mm,
adding water to it. Otherwise, it's just going to be, like you said, like wax.
yeah. So now I understand that, and it's a learning process, because
Did you
I
put
hear
salt
so
in it?
many people say that bone broth is good. What was that?
Did you put any salt in it?
Of course. Well, not
Okay.
when I was cooking it, but I did afterwards.
Okay.
Um, I really didn't put anything in it, the cooking wise, but I did add some butter and I did add some salt and I had at least 2 glasses worth. I actually had 2 of these worth
Okay.
of it.
Huh.
So, so and this is a pretty big mug. It's not tiny. It's about as big. How big it is in
Mm-hmm.
my head. And yes, I get that I have a big head, but
I don't know if mine is big or not, but I am a tall guy.
um, Bacon Baby says that you have a house of wonders.
It's a wonder it's still standing. I like living this way because it's the opposite of everybody else. Everybody now wants to be minimalist.
Oh, that's a good tip there, CB. You need to roast the bones in the oven, then put it in the crock pot and let mine go for 2 straight days. Oh,
Oh,
he lets his go for 2 straight days.
wow.
So, so you roast them first, then let them go, and then put them in the crock pot. Is that the order that I'm getting here?
Hmm.
That sounds really good.
Hmm.
Now the only thing is though, now I gotta get bones again because I figure they're no good once you use them. I mean,
Right.
it's not like you know. Um, but and you want to hear something sad but expected. I went to Walmart the other day, and that's where I get my like normally I go to ShopRite for my steaks, only because it's closer. But I was actually nearer to the Walmart this time, so I thought, okay, let me go because I was at the getting my blood work done. And I went to the Walmart. Matter of fact, I did a video on it. You guys saw it, where I showed that lamb, the big lamb breast, which I'm yet to cook. I had to figure out, because that's going to be a few meals. Like if I decide to cook it, that's probably going to be my next like 4 meals.
Hmm.
So depending on how many meals I have a day, that will be the dependency of it. So I asked the guy. I said, "Do you by any chance have any bones for bone broth?" You know, and you look like I don't know what you look like. You look like a cat or like just um. And he's like, people ask me all the time for that. We have no bones whatsoever. You have
Huh.
to go. You have to go to this like ShopRite would probably have it. You know. And I said to him, I said, I bet your bosses are really glad that you're sending people to ShopRite. And he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't have shop right here. We have Winn Dixie and Aldi and Fresco y Mas and Presidente, Sedano's. Hmm. Yeah, I'm just finishing up my pork
I guess
shoulder.
was that in the video? I didn't realize that. When I
What?
was in Walmart, was that in the video that when me asking the guy about the bones?
Uh,
I gotta listen to my own video.
you were talking to people, but it was all like in the cart. I couldn't see really much of anything.
Yeah, I gotta listen. I gotta listen to that video because Terry Sue. Let me see if I can get the thing because it went scrolled up. She said, "I heard that guy tell you they had no bones." So,
Oh, okay.
wow. Okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I did have the video on, and I was, so if I didn't denoise it, then why not? You know? Yeah, he steered me towards ShopRite.
Oh,
You
wow.
know,
You're right. Sometimes
and,
I do
and
feel like a cat.
giving him some credit. At least he was honest. He didn't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't
Well,
try telling me like no one ever eats bone broth. Why would you want bones for bone broth?
it's like I always tell people when I couldn't offer a product to a customer, I'd send it to somebody that could. I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with that.
that's what I would do too.
Yeah.
If I knew somebody had a better talent for something, I would send them over. You know.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I was selling a product and somebody else was selling one better than mine for a better value, I'd find out what's going on so I could
Right.
lower my
You,
price.
you always look at the competition, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, definitely.
That's right.
You know. And you know what though? Sometimes that honesty actually helps you out because they realize, hey, wait, he's willing. Like a lot of times, I'd be working for a company and they'd be like, "Never tell them you don't know what you're talking about. Never tell them, just." And I would be like, I just tell the truth. I'd be like, right now I'm in training, and I really haven't learned that. But hey, if you want, let's go to this guy that knows, and you and me can learn together.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time they were like, they would buy even more from me.
Well, like
You
last
know?
week, I had somebody, a customer of mine, brought in their car. The air conditioning was broken. I open the hood, compressor's not running. I look and I see the wire disconnected. So I said, shut it off. I plugged the wire in, turn it on. It worked fine. So, well, how much are you going to charge? I said, I'm not charging anything. If it takes me less than 15 minutes, it's free. Oh, wow. Well, I'm sure that customer will be back. That's usually the way it works.
So CB's giving a lot of good tips, which he has before, so it's not that shocking. But I was never sure about oxtail, and like I guess oxtail makes pretty good bone broth. So I think I can get oxtail pretty
Uh
pretty
huh.
easily. So maybe if I buy a couple packets of oxtail and brew that,
Milton, come here. Milton.
that'd be pretty good.
Okay, Milton. Yucky.
I've done that before on Terry Sue, the medieval times. We have one in here in New Jersey. But I also was in the one in Florida too, near Disney World. It was more of an indoor thing. The one in Jersey is like jousting with the horses and everything. The one I did was more of like a minstrel show.
I eat a lot of food.
Oh yeah, it all sounds really good. And next time I make bone broth, I'll definitely do those tips, CB. You make some really good tips there. So so I am getting a little hungry, probably from talking about bone broth and stuff. So as soon as Rick comes back, I will. I'm going to probably be ending the live. Um, we're almost to 3 hours, so all right. So I don't know if you heard me, Rick, but I'm going to be ending the live live now.
All right.
I just didn't want to end it with you, and all of a sudden you'd be like, "What the hell? Where'd he go?"
No, I gave Milton some food, so he's over there chomping away.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, thank you, Rick, for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley, for coming on. I appreciate that. I really do. I mean, whenever I see, I mean, you, I'm getting used to. You've been on before, so I can't really say like, oh, like it's always a good thing that you're coming on. Don't get me wrong, but it's not really like, oh my God, it's Rick, type thing. But but whenever I have people that are not like that I normally don't have on, like when Mitch was on, it was like that, like or when because they're hardly ever on. So it's like
Hmm.
this like rare thing, it's rare occurrence that they're ever on. Um, so don't think I'm not excited that you're here. It's just I'm used to you being here. Same with Lewis. I'm used to Lewis being here. It's not like it's like, hey Lewis, how you doing?
Hmm. That's right.
um, so we'll end it there. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I hope that answers are made. Let's put
I
it
hope
that way.
so too.
And everything. Actually, you did get one answer. We weren't really sure fully if Carrie even like Carrie knows about it, but like how much does he know about? Like it was kind of like this, like back and forth, like. So we
Right.
know he knows all about it. Um, it's just a matter of just getting the answers, you
That's
know,
it.
and
You know.
everything. And so live, love, and heal. And for God's sakes, people, I think we can all agree, including Rick, eat the meats